I time traveled to ancient times and opened a restaurant. Just a microwave and some instant meals, and I was living the good life. Other chefs are up before dawn, choking on smoke. My legendary dishes come out of the pot in 3 minutes flat. Other places are still tearing their hair out over ingredients. My fridge never runs dry. One plate of heavenly diced chicken, and the smell fills the whole street. Customers rush for a taste. Every seat is taken. The leader of the martial world shows up every single day. He won't leave the place. A princess comes in person, offering a fortune for me to open a second shop. Then one day, my microwave finally gave out. It just stopped working. Right now, I'm stressing over my modern delivery shop going under. Then, outside the door, the same shout rings out. Is the owner here? Bring out some food, quick, I'm starving. Ming is lost in thought, head down, when that booming voice breaks the silence in the shop. Coming, right away, what would you like? We promise your food in 15 minutes. Or it's free. Ming answers on reflex and puts his phone away. But the moment he looks up, he freezes. The front counter, modern just a second ago, has somehow turned into an old-fashioned restaurant, thick with age. Ink-wash screens. 8 immortal tables fill the hall. An old elm staircase. Big red lanterns hang high overhead. Everything feels foreign, yet strangely familiar. Where am I? I should be in my own delivery shop. Then he looks at the customer, dressed head to toe in an ancient robe. Did he wander onto some film set by mistake? Or is he still half asleep and seeing things? What are you standing there for, owner? Hurry up and bring the food. Anything will do. I'm not picky. Seeing Ming still frozen, the guest presses him, impatient. Right away, coming up. Ming nods quickly and heads for the kitchen. Real or not? He figures he should splash some water on his face. Once in the kitchen, he pulls open the fridge without thinking, grabs the shop's best-selling Kung Pao chicken, the one with the biggest stock, dices it, tears the pack open, tips it onto a plate, and shoves it in the microwave. All in one smooth motion. The microwave starts humming. He turns to the sink, splashes cold water on his face, and steadies himself. He takes a deep breath and walks back out of the kitchen. The fluorescent lights, the glass door, the electric fan, all the familiar setup, the familiar feel of the place. So it really was just his imagination. That customer never existed. Wait, if the customer never existed, then that Kung Pao chicken was heated for nothing. Never mind, he'll just eat it himself. He hasn't had dinner anyway. Ming shakes his head and turns back into the kitchen. 3.5 minutes later, right on cue, the heating's done. A tempting smell drifts out of the microwave. He picks up his chopsticks and tries a bite of chicken. It's just a pre-made dish, sure, but it actually tastes pretty good, though who knows how much tech went into it. Out front, after Ming heads into the kitchen, the customer, stomach growling, is left sitting alone in the hall. If he weren't this hungry, he'd never set foot in a nobody shop like this. He should never have taken the quick road here. This dump has no food, no rooms. It's a total trap. If he'd taken the other road, he'd probably be settled comfortably in some restaurant by now, enjoying a hot meal. That restaurant in the next town over does have a few dishes worth eating, and they roll out new ones now and then. Dishes that suit old-timers like him. But look at this place. Neither here nor there. 6 dusty tables, all coated in grime. There's even a cobweb in the corner. No one's cleaned this place in ages. Or no customers walked in for ages. And they dare promise food in a snap. The kitchen's probably just wild vegetable mush. Will eating it even be safe? But skip it and he'll starve. What rotten luck. Forget it. He'll just choke something down. Once he's back in the capital, he's treating himself to a proper meal at the Typhoon House. Wait, where's that smell coming from? Is he hallucinating from hunger now? A place like this couldn't smell this good. He opens his eyes and finds Ming holding a plate. Chopsticks pinching a piece of chicken. About to pop it in his mouth, their eyes meet. Right there. It's an awkward moment. Owner, seriously. These days people actually steal a bite of the customer's food right in front of them? Unbelievable. It's fine, sir. I was just checking if it's cooked through. Ming quickly sets down the chopsticks. He'd figured it was all in his head, and thought it'd be a waste not to eat it. Besides, a pre-made dish like this, no one would even want it as a gift. Who knew that stepping out of the kitchen would land him back in this strange place? Alright, what's this dish called? Wang Chang's attention is already locked on the food in Ming's hands. The smell is just too tempting. The dish gleams red and glossy. Every piece distinct. coated in thick, rich sauce, set off by bright green cucumber and golden roasted peanuts. The look of it alone makes his mouth water. Kung Pao chicken. You've never had it, sir? Lu Ming, a little puzzled, sets the plate in front of Wang Chang. Kung Pao chicken is such an ordinary home dish. Every family should have made it at some point. Sure, it's tasty, but not tasty enough to make someone drool like this. Besides, this isn't even freshly cooked. It's just a pre-made meal. Who knows how much lab-made stuff is in it? Yet the man in front of him is acting like it's a feast. Did he really travel back in time? Never had it. First time I've seen a dish with this much color, smell, and taste. It smells amazing. Wang Chang can't wait and grabs another piece of chicken. The moment it hits his tongue, his eyes go wide. This flavor, it's like a live chicken is dancing on his tongue. The tender meat melts in his mouth. His whole mouth fills with rich chicken flavor. It's simply wonderful. Besides that, the crisp green cucumber cuts right through it, keeping the whole dish rich without feeling greasy. And whatever those other bits are, fried up golden and crunchy. Really delicious. If only he had a jug of good wine right now. This would be pure bliss. But a small shop like this, just having one dish that catches your eye is already something. He can't ask for more than that. And true enough, this place really doesn't sell wine. It's a delivery shop after all. What delivery place sells liquor too? Glad you're enjoying it, sir. Seeing Wang Chang eat with such gusto, Lu Ming actually feels a little embarrassed. This is a $5 bag of instant food. It hardly deserves this much praise. That smell is probably just some industrial flavoring. And as for how tender the meat is, who knows what kind of lab tricks went into that. The scariest part is, this pack has a shelf life of 2 whole years. And it's already a year and a half old. Just imagining how many preservatives it takes to last 2 years. Of course, given the price, $5 a bag. With meat and veggies both. As long as it doesn't make you sick, that's honestly worth some praise. Delicious, so delicious. I've never had anything this good. Another plate? No. Bring me 10 more plates. Wang Chang licks the plate clean in record time, and says with gusto, "This dish really is something. The portion's just a bit small. But honestly, I don't care about the price." Sure thing, hold on. Back in the kitchen, he opens the fridge, tears open packs, plates them, and loads the microwave. 30 seconds to thaw, 3 minutes to heat. The whole routine runs so smooth it's almost impressive. 10 microwaves humming away at once. While he waits, Lu Ming finally has a moment to think about that strange difference between going in and coming out. The problem seems to be which door he takes. Because the kitchen is pretty spacious. It has 2 doors, one on each side. One leads straight to the front of the shop, and out there, it's just his ordinary delivery shop. The other curves around and comes out beneath the stairs. That one was meant for him to head upstairs and rest. Who would have guessed it would cause something this strange? Step out through this door, and somehow, he ends up back in ancient times. Lu Ming pokes his head out a few more times to test it. Sure enough, the door that leads straight to the front still opens to the modern shop outside, but the door under the stairs takes him back to that strange, ancient world. He really can time travel. A string of beeps from the microwaves pulls Lu Ming back from his days. He straightens his clothes and takes the 10 plates of Kung Pao chicken out of the microwaves. Whatever happens, he needs to take care of this customer first. As for everything else, there's time to figure it out once the shop is closed. Balancing the tray, he heads back out front. And once again, Lu Ming finds Wang Chang midlick on his empty plate. "Sir, there's really no need for that." Lu Ming keeps a smile on his face, while thinking to himself, this man's dressed decently enough. So why does he eat like he's been starved for lifetimes? How many times has he licked that plate already? You sure got this out fast, owner. Wang Chang looks a bit sheepish too. I'm not usually like this. Even eating at the Thai foam house back in the capital, I'd clean my plate at most. Never lick it. I do have some standing, after all. Licking a plate. Normally, I'd never do something like that. But I couldn't help it. The food here is just too good, too fragrant. Especially that sauce. The more you eat, the more you crave it. Before I knew it, well, never mind. Speed is what this shop is known for. Here you are, sir, your Kung Pao chicken, all set. Anything else you'd like? Lu Ming works hard to keep a straight face. I'm trained for this. No matter how funny something is, I can hold it in. He can handle a scene like this. Though if Wang Chang keeps licking plates, that might be a different story. No need, wait. Do you have any rice? Wang Chang waves a hand. A small country shop like this, having one standout dish is already impressive, especially given how fast the food comes out. Kung Pao chicken's probably the only thing they're good at. He doesn't expect much from anything else, but mixing that sauce with some rice. That sounds like it'd hit the spot. We do have some, sir. Lu Ming nods quickly. Plain rice is probably the only thing in the shop that isn't pre-made. After all, rice isn't expensive, and it's simple to cook. No need for the instant kind. And besides, this rice, he actually learned to make from a real chef. Soak the rice in a wooden tub with hot water. Add a few drops of sesame oil. Then lay a slice or two of special sausage on top. Not the packaged kind you buy at the store, but homemade. The best cuts of pork, minced and stuffed into casing. Then dried in the sun for a full 81 days, top-grade sausage. Rice steamed with that kind of sausage comes out with a hint of sweetness and a rich meaty aroma. It's incredibly good, and of course, the rice itself matters too. He picks an ordinary yet special wuchang rice. The steamed rice comes out plump and glistening, with a smell that hits you right away. Soft and chewy, yet still has bite. Just the right touch of sweetness, every grain separate and whole. Honestly, a top-tier rice in its own right. But the best part is the price. It can't compete with the priciest brands, but it wins on being cheap and tasty. And the key thing is the container he steams it in, a custom-made, high-end wooden tub. Rice steamed in a tub like that carries its own unique aroma. Put the three together, and the aftertaste just lingers. That's why, even with the exact same dishes, his delivery shop sells over 1,000 orders a day. Some customers come purely for the rice, and some don't even realize it's the rice doing the work. But with rice as the backdrop, that pre-made food tastes even better, and they end up becoming regulars. There's no business to speak of at this hour anyway. So he brings out all the rice he's kept warm all day, and fills up a huge bowl for him. Here's your rice, sir. Lu Ming sets the bowl down on the table beside him. On Wang Chang's table, 10 plates of Kung Pao chicken are already crowded together. The table's too small to fit anything else. While eating happily, Wang Chang glances over for a second, and that one glance nearly makes him choke. Rice, white gleaming rice. A whole bowl, brimming with white rice. A huge bowl of white rice sitting right there. His throat tightens. He nearly chokes on the food in his mouth. What's wrong, sir? Is it too much rice? It's fine, you can scoop some into a bowl. Just eat as much as you like. Lu Ming assumes he's just startled by the amount. Which makes sense, honestly. 10 plates of Kung Pao chicken, even with small portions each, that adds up to a lot. Throw in this huge bowl of rice, and it really could be too much. Oh well, he'll just use the leftovers for fried rice tomorrow. Fried rice always tastes better with day-old rice anyway. No, that's not it. I mean, you're actually using white rice here. Well, what else would I use? Lu Ming scratches his head, a little puzzled. Is that really so shocking these days? Since this place is a restaurant, most of its customers must be locals. But these days, white rice isn't something ordinary families can afford. Most common people eat coarse, unpolished rice. Calling it eating chaff and greens might be a stretch. But eating white rice every single meal is simply out of the question. Only the wealthiest households can afford white rice every day. Even an ordinary 7th-rank official, if he's honest and doesn't take bribes, still has to mix in coarse grains. There's no way he'd have white rice at every meal. A whole bowl of white rice like this doesn't come cheap. For a moment, he actually starts worrying about his own wallet. This kind of thing doesn't just happen on its own. It's the result of someone's hard work. By the way, how much is this meal? Thrown off by how casually Lu Ming catches him off guard again. Wang Chang looks a little rattled. Let me work this out. Kung Pao chicken's 10 coins a plate. 10 plates, that's 100 coins. Let's say the rice is 5 coins. 105 coins total. Lu Ming does the math in his head. Dine-in prices always run cheaper than delivery. Delivery usually goes for 12 coins. Dine-in's 10. Skip the middleman. And even at a lower price, he actually ends up making more. 105 coins, that cheap. Wang Chang looks a bit stunned. Just going by how good this kung pao chicken tastes, if this were served at the Thai Foam House back in the capital, that one dish alone could easily go for 100 coins. This whole meal, he'd figured would cost at least a tael or two of silver, no less. Who would have thought over a dozen meat dishes plus a huge bowl of rice would come to just over 100 coins? What a steal! Well, sure, you can think of it that way. Lu Ming had almost said he was charging 105 yuan, but caught himself, remembering he's in ancient times now. Right now, all he wants is to get this man out the door. And then figure out what's really going on here. Alright, 105 coins, is that right? Here's a whole tael of silver, and find me a place to stay. Keep the rest as a tip. Wang Chang cheerfully pulls out a tael of silver and sets it on the table. Sorry, sir, this shop only serves food. We don't offer lodging. Lu Ming's chest tightens. Is he joking? This place is way too strange. There's no way he can let someone stay the night here. If the secret gets out, that could be dangerous. That's fine. Just find me anywhere to rest for the night. I'll pay extra. Wang Chang, happily digging into his kung pao chicken, has no idea anything's off. Even extra pay won't work. Please finish up soon, sir. The shop's about to close. Lu Ming's expression turns serious. To me, a tael of silver and a mere coin make no difference. It's not real money anyway. I have no sense of its value. Mention gold, and sure, I might be tempted, but I'd still turn it down without hesitation. Nothing matters more than keeping my secret safe. I see, alright then. Seeing how firm Lu Ming is, Wang Chang decides not to push it. It's getting late, sure, but people like him spend their lives on the road. Sleeping rough is nothing new. A night out in the open is no big deal. Getting a meal this good tonight is already more than enough for him. Still, this food really is something else. The rice is just as good as the food. This white rice somehow tastes 100 times better than any he's had before. It carries a meaty aroma, every grain distinct. The texture is just right, not too soft, not too firm. But it's just white rice, isn't it? How good can a bowl of rice really be? It must be his imagination. Definitely his imagination. The food's just so good it's playing tricks on him. Wang Chang shakes his head and puts the taste of the rice down entirely to the kung pao chicken. He doesn't eat slowly either. In under an hour, he polishes off every plate and the whole bowl of rice. Just as he's about to lick the plate again, Lu Ming politely shows him out. The moment the shop door closes, Lu Ming lets out a long breath. Finally, he has time to take a proper look at this ancient restaurant that appeared out of nowhere. The inside is fairly simple. 5 small 4-person square tables and 1 long table that can just barely fit a dozen people. Then there's the counter facing the front door and a wooden staircase leading upstairs. There even seems to be a courtyard out back. Lu Ming heads out to check the back courtyard first. It's a good size, with a stable and a millstone, and a few side rooms. The whole layout looks like it was built as an inn. But the most important thing is that the back courtyard also has a door into a kitchen. Stepping through it reveals a completely ordinary ancient-style kitchen, covered in cobwebs, with a thick layer of dust. No one set foot in here for years, it seems. The stove is bare. Not even a mouse in sight. It looks like some kind of rift in space and time has connected the door to his own kitchen with the kitchen door of this old inn. After checking out the kitchen, Lu Ming heads upstairs to look around too. There's nothing special up there. A dozen empty rooms, all covered in cobwebs as well. At night it feels eerie, almost like a haunted house. After one loop around, a chill runs down his spine. Lu Ming hurries back downstairs to the kitchen. Seeing his own familiar, well-lit kitchen again finally gives him a small sense of home. The modern world really is better. After tossing the dishes into the dishwasher, Lu Ming crawls into his own warm bed and passes out. He sleeps straight through until the next afternoon. When he wakes and checks the time, the lunch rush has long since passed. Lu Ming decides not to open the shop today. He's got more important things to deal with. Time to visit the antique street.
Lu Ming jingles the 15 copper coins in his hand, along with a small chunk of silver. Wang Chang had insisted on paying a whole tael of silver, but he didn't take more than what was owed.
Money he shouldn't take, he won't take. Once a price is set, that's what he charges. If he really wants to earn more, he can just raise the price next time.
He's no greedy shopkeeper. Prices at his place are always clearly marked.
Ripping off customers just isn't something he does. After wandering the street for a while, he picks an antique shop that looks decent and walks in. Ancient money is still ancient money. If he wants to trade it for modern currency, he'll need to see what it's actually worth first. What can I help you find, sir?
The antique shop owner is a cheerful old man
who seems friendly enough. I'm not here to buy. I've got a few pieces here. I was hoping you could take a look and tell me what they're worth. Lu Ming doesn't waste time and hands over the coins and silver directly. Young man, mind if I ask where these came from? A family heirloom, or? The owner glances at it once and asks, hesitant.
Lu Ming makes up an excuse on the spot.
Bought it as an antique.
You could say that. Lu Ming nods.
I actually plan to sell it as an antique.
It's from ancient times, after all.
Oh, well, forgive me for being blunt, but young man, I'm afraid you bought a fake. The owner shakes his head, looking genuinely sorry for him. A fake? No way, Lu Ming's mind goes blank. Did he really end up on some film set last night? But when he checked before heading out today, that shop was still there. Last night wasn't a dream either.
If you're trying to sell this as an antique,
it's definitely fake. Forget the inscription on the coin for a second. Just think about it.
In 5,000 years of history, there's never been a dynasty with that name.
And besides, real antiques need patina and oxidation. A coin this shiny and new can't be more than 20 years old. Whoever forged it clearly didn't put in the effort. They didn't even want to spend the money on it.
And honestly, young man, you're way too trusting.
I don't even know what to say. You didn't spend much on it, did you? The way the owner looks at Lu Ming now carries more than a little pity for him. How could anyone fall for something this obviously fake?
He wonders to himself.
Not much, just 115. Lu Ming is a bit dazed. He honestly hadn't thought this through. But thinking it over,
antiques need time to age. His came straight from that era.
So how old could it really be? It just needs more time to sit.
But his plan to resell them for profit
looks like it's dead in the water. Well, it's not that expensive at least. Still, you're taking a loss. Just not as bad a loss as it could have been. The owner keeps smiling. What do you mean by that? Lu Ming asks, confused. This piece may not be a genuine antique.
But the copper's real copper, and the silver's real silver.
Copper's going for about 85 yuan a kilo right now.
And silver's just over 10,000 a kilo.
Your coins and silver aren't very pure.
But you could still sell them for 50 or 60 yuan.
Call it about half your money back.
Try a gold and silver shop, they should take it off your hands.
Of course, if you're selling it as an antique, then that money's just gone. The owner adds helpfully. All right, thanks for the tip.
Lu Ming feels a little relieved.
50 or 60 back isn't too bad a loss. That's about what his pre-made dishes cost him anyway. But the problem is, he hasn't made any money off this either. After leaving the antique shop,
Lu Ming tries a few more places
and gets the exact same answer every time, which leaves him a little deflated.
He'd hoped to make some extra cash off this.
But now it looks like he'll have to give up on that idea.
The only way to actually profit would be to raise his prices, but even then, it wouldn't amount to much. This is ridiculous. Why is making money this hard? I can literally travel through time. That's basically a cheat code. So why is making money still such a struggle? It's enough to make him laugh and cry at once. By the time he's back at the shop, it's already 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
He's not planning to take any delivery orders today.
But there's still one thing on the other side he wants to sort out.
Even if there's no money in it,
he needs to handle that place properly. Otherwise, if someone wanders in from that side, the world could fall into chaos. Maybe he should just seal that door shut. Lu Ming stares at the kitchen door,
half tempted to do it right now.
Luckily, reason wins out. Better to first figure out
exactly where that place is.
The inn still looks just as worn down as it did last night. Lu Ming walks up and pushes the front door open with a soft creak. A small figure scrambles up off the ground in a hurry.
Sorry. Owner, I swear I didn't mean it. And you are?
Standing before him is a boy of about 13 or 14.
Thin and small. Someone Lu Ming's never seen before. I'm from the next village over. You can just call me Lin Hao. Young Master Wang gave me a coin of silver and told me to wait here until you opened up, and to tell you, opening this late. No wonder your shop gets no business.
I'm sorry, really sorry.
Young Master Wang made me say it. It's fine, just tell me what happened. Lu Ming's expression stays calm.
There's nothing to get worked up over here. It's true the shop opened late.
And paying someone to come curse him out
clearly means the man was beyond satisfied with the place.
It's the kind of satisfaction that turns into frustrated anger when you can't get the thing you're craving,
which is honestly the highest compliment a shop can get.
An ordinary customer would have just turned around and left. No one pays money just to complain. And sure enough, from the boy's account,
Lu Ming pieces together roughly what happened.
Wang Chang never actually left last night.
He just fell asleep right outside the shop door.
He'd figured he'd sleep until morning,
then enjoy a good breakfast before heading out.
But come morning,
the shop that should have opened simply didn't.
Fine, not opening is fine. He'd eaten plenty the night before anyway. He wasn't that hungry. Surely it would open by noon. So Wang Chang waited and waited, just hoping for one more good meal before setting off.
But it turned out the shop
didn't open at noon either. Seeing that if he didn't leave soon he wouldn't make it back today, Wang Chang finally gave up.
Lin Hao happened to be passing through town selling herbs
and got roped in as his stand-in. Wang Chang gave him a coin of silver
in exchange for the dry rations he was carrying, and had him wait here.
Just kept waiting, right up until now.
Besides all this,
Lu Ming also picks up plenty
about the state of this world from Lin Hao. The dynasty they're in is called the Great Coin Dynasty, which has been at war for years on end,
leaving the common people struggling,
until about 20 years ago, when the fighting finally became unsustainable, and peace was hard-won at last. But food shortages are still common,
and the population has taken a serious hit, even after years of recovery bringing back some strength.
Besides the man-made disasters,
natural ones haven't let up either drought or flood. The harvests come up nearly empty for years running.
The word miserable barely covers it.
These days, ordinary people
get by on 2 bowls of wild vegetable mush a day.
Rice is something only wealthy families can afford. Even an average landowning family just fills up on coarse grains. Real white rice is a rare treat you might only see at New Year's.
Of course, where there are poor people in this world,
there are naturally rich ones too. Not everyone's struggling to eat. Otherwise, restaurants like this wouldn't even exist. Someone like Wang Chang is clearly not short on money.
It's just that the town Lu Ming's in
really isn't much of a place. It's called Kahua Town.
It used to sit right on the main road to the capital, where the waterways met too. A real hub for traveling merchants. But unfortunately, because of the war over 20 years ago, the county office moved to the next town over. That town's been quietly developing for over 20 years since.
Its economy and people have settled in nicely, and with the county office based there, it pulled everyone away. As a result, Kahua Town today has little more than a few locals and passers-by left. You'd hardly see anyone around. With fewer people, nothing else could grow either.
That's exactly why his shop had shut down in the first place. This used to be a bustling commercial street, now it's all gone. If he hadn't opened his door, this would be a dead street. Owner, I really didn't mean to. Oh, right, young Master Wang also asked me to help clean up the place for you. So it's not a mess again next time he comes. Lin Hao says, standing up to go find a rag. But his stomach lets out an embarrassing growl. You haven't eaten? Lu Ming is a little surprised, only now remembering that Lin Hao had said Wang Chang traded away his dry rations. He'd assumed the man would leave him something. Turns out, not a scrap left. It's fine. I work fast. I'll head home and eat once I'm done. That coin young Master Wang gave me will keep my family going for months. Giving up my rations was still a good deal for me, Lin Hao says quickly. Tell you what, let me get you something to eat first. We don't have much else. But there's plenty of rice, Lu Ming says, already heading to the kitchen. It's really just a few dollars worth. He can't have someone working on an empty stomach. 3.5 minutes later, a distinct aroma spreads through the restaurant. That smells amazing, Lin Hao sniffs hard. Like a puppy catching a scent. Go ahead and eat. Lu Ming sets down a plate of kung pao chicken, along with a bowl of white rice. This is too much. I can't accept this. Lin Hao's mouth is watering. But he still holds himself back. White rice, a fragrant meat dish. Is this really something a country boy like him should be eating? This meal alone is probably worth more than the coin here and today, all on its own. It's fine, think of it as pay for your work. Lu Ming says, unbothered. No, I can't. Young Master Wang already paid me. I can't take more. How about I trade you these for the meal instead?
Turns out he'd actually gone out that morning to gather herbs and sell them in town, but Wang Chang had stopped him before he even reached the herb shop. The herbs in his basket were just whatever he'd picked up along the way. He has no idea if the shop owner would even want them. Lu Ming, of course, knows nothing about herbs, but that's not a problem. He's got an app that can identify almost anything. He snaps a quick photo, and the app identifies it as wild astragalus root, even listing a price. 50 yuan a kilo. Looking at the whole basket, there's easily 5 or 6 kilos here. Comes out to over 200. More than what Wang Chang gave him yesterday. So, what do you think, can we trade? Lin Hao asks, a little nervous. Normally, a basket of herbs like this only fetches a few copper coins at the pharmacy. He's not even sure it'll cover the cost of this meal. Sure, that works perfectly. If you ever have more herbs like this, bring them to me first. I'll take them off your hands. Copper and silver don't get you much, but herbs, I can use, especially the truly wild kind. In a modern world full of greenhouse farming, that's an absolute rarity. Lu Ming works it out in his head. Buy herbs in the past, sell them in the present. This angle might actually be worth something. Okay. Thank you, owner, thank you so much. Lin Hao's eyes well up, genuinely moved. No need to thank me, just eat. It won't taste as good once it's cold. Lu Ming waves a hand. He has no idea if herbs are worth much in this era, but they surely don't sell for much out here in the hills. Take durian in the city, for example. It sells for tens of dollars a piece, but back where it's grown, no one wants it even for free. Shipping costs actually make up a huge chunk of a product's price. But his side of things is different. Modern transportation is convenient, and delivery services are everywhere. What's actually scarce there is anything truly wild. As long as he finds the right buyers, wild herbs can sell online for a much better price. Just as Lin Hao was digging into his food, the sound of hoofbeats suddenly breaks the quiet street. We found her, miss. There's a shop here. That's where the smell's coming from. But this place looks pretty run down. Maybe we should just go. Don't go, please don't go. It's not your fault, it's mine. It's all my fault, all mine. I just haven't had time to clean up. Hearing the maid suggest leaving, Lu Ming doesn't react much. There's not much money in it for him anyway.
But with him dashing around, sends the smell of kung pao chicken drifting straight out the door. Even the maid standing outside the door
Can't help sniffing the air quietly.
It does smell good, miss. But this place still isn't clean.
We should really just go. I've been trained for this. I always think of what's best for you, miss. My lady is far too precious to eat anything from a place like this.
Just look at that scrawny little server.
The kitchen can't be any cleaner than he looks. Honestly, she hadn't wanted to come here at all.
But her mistress, who rarely shows interest in food,
Had spoken up, wanting to find the source of that smell, so she couldn't very well stop her.
she'd assumed it would be some fancy new restaurant.
Never expected it to be this rundown little shop, looking grimy on top of it all. Right about now, she's starting to regret coming. Clean, it's clean, I promise.
Look, our owner makes every dish with real care.
It's spotless, really. Lin Hao panics,
And thrusts the plate in his hand toward them.
still half full of kung pao chicken. The sauce glistens, coating the tender chicken.
It's the kind of sight that makes your mouth water on sight.
I really want to try it.
What should she do? The maid thinks, staring straight at the dish.
Caught in a fierce inner struggle. Logically, there's no way.
She can let her mistress eat from a place this unsanitary.
But instinct keeps pulling her toward wanting a taste. What could this smell even be?
She can't help it, it just smells too good, especially with the plate right under her nose.
The aroma keeps pushing straight into her senses.
The young lady swallows quietly too, trying to seem composed.
Just as she's about to suggest trying it herself first,
The owner's voice cuts in from inside.
Lin Hao, if the guests don't want it, come on back. My food really isn't all that clean.
She's a person of noble standing after all.
Delicate and precious.
If she gets sick from it, I can't afford to cover
When
that.
Lu Ming says this, he means every word of it. This is pre-made food, after all.
Who really knows how it's made?
If there's any unsanitary step in the process, there's no way to be sure.
Everyone else is fine, since modern people eat delivery food.
And pre-made meals all the time. So it's not something he needs to worry about there. As for Lin Hao, Wang Chang was clearly some kind of martial artist. No ordinary person could eat that much in one sitting.
So there's nothing to worry about with him either.
And Lin Hao grew up on coarse grain and wild greens, so he's fine too. If it doesn't make him sick, it'll only make him tougher.
But the woman in that carriage, judging by her maid, her escorts, and the carriage itself,
Is clearly a young lady raised with great care. Someone used to eating nothing but pure, organic, additive-free food her whole life. If she came in and ate his industrially processed pre-made dishes,
he's genuinely afraid she'd get sick from it.
so what he just said wasn't meant as an insult at all. It was just the honest truth, straight from the heart. Oh nar. I apologize, my maid speaks without thinking. I'll take this dish. Miss. I'm not joking. My food really isn't clean. Please, don't eat it.
You'll end up with an upset stomach.
You might even get sick from it.
Lu Ming tries his best to talk her out of it.
He genuinely doesn't want any trouble, but an excuse this week ends up sounding like sarcasm instead. What restaurant owner says his own food isn't fit to eat?
The composed, ethereal voice from the carriage stays calm.
Understood, 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 understood. Lu Ming assumes the person inside actually gets it
And breathes a sigh of relief.
Oh nar. We'll pay a tael of silver for one dish. And the rest. Consider it an apology on my maid's behalf. Qingya hands over the money. Miss, isn't a whole tael a bit much? The maid, named Qingya, looks reluctant. No matter how good the dish is, it's not worth a whole tael of silver.
When she pays, facing her own maid,
Her tone isn't nearly as polite. There's a firmness to it, clearly wanting to settle this quickly. Lin Hao watches his boss, with a mix of awe and admiration. In just a few moments, the owners earned a whole tael of silver.
if he were hauling sacks at the docks,
That would take him a month or two at least. But the owner
just made that much in the time it takes to eat a meal. The man is basically a god in his eyes.
No, that's not what I meant. My food really is insanitary. I truly can't sell it to you. What if you got sick from it? Who'd be responsible then?
Ming isn't dazzled by the sudden windfall of silver. What worries him more is getting caught up in trouble, and honestly, he really doesn't trust his own pre-made food either.
It's $5 a bag, there's no guarantee on the quality. It's fine, if I get sick, that's on me. No need for the owner to take responsibility. The voice from the carriage sounds completely unbothered. He's about to push back once more, when the person in the carriage clearly loses patience. With a soft whoosh, a pouch of silver flies out of the carriage, landing perfectly in Ming's hands. He weighs it in his palm, not a coin off. Exactly 10 taels. Well then, let me say this up front. If you get sick, don't come blaming me.
Ming steels himself.
Only a fool turns down money.
He's certainly not about to fight with cash.
Besides, everyone else has eaten it fine. No reason a pampered young lady can't handle it too. With that said, Ming turns and heads back to the kitchen.
The same familiar routine follows.
Before long, a whole batch of fragrant kung pao chicken is ready to cater to certain customers. Before,
Ming had specifically bought a stack of wooden takeout boxes,
which come in handy right now.
In no time, 1 box of kung pao chicken and 1 box of rice are packed up neatly.
Miss, please, don't eat this. My food really isn't clean.
Ming happily jingles the heavy silver in his hand as he calls out toward the departing carriage.
One last well-meaning reminder.
Miss, he's really pushing it too far.
Taking it too far, honestly.
Xingya, walking alongside the carriage,
hears the voice calling out from behind them,
and assumes Ming is still mocking them, stamping her foot in anger. Him saying his own food isn't clean.
Again and again, isn't that just mocking what he said earlier? They've already paid so much,
and now the owner wants to mock them on top of it.
How classless can one person be? Forget it, we just won't come back here again.
The young lady's voice stays just as clear and calm,
without a hint of irritation. So, miss, what should we do with this dish? How about I try it first, just to be safe? Xingya wants to toss it, but can't bring herself to. It just smells too good to give up. And the dish looks absolutely delicious.
The young lady says, her voice light as a breeze. Wonderful, with her mistress's approval.
Xingya can't hold back any longer, and eagerly pries the box open.
With a soft click, the lid lifts,
and a wave of heat and aroma rushes out,
swirling straight into her nose like a small whirlwind.
Right in the center of the box sits the kung pao chicken, quiet and still, like a finely crafted piece of art. The diced chicken, tender and golden, each piece gleaming with an inviting shine, as if it's quietly announcing how good it tastes. The rich sauce wraps around it like an elegant coat, every piece glossy and full. The kind of sight that's hard to look away from. Xingya carefully picks up a piece and puts it in her mouth. The instant it hits her tongue, a burst of savory flavor blooms across her taste buds. The chicken is tender and juicy,
with a delicate texture,
blending perfectly with the rich sauce,
leaving a taste that lingers long after.
In the other box
sits the white rice, every grain distinct,
like tiny glistening pearls,
each one carrying a faint hint of meaty aroma that pulls at her appetite. Xingya scoops up a bit of rice with her chopsticks
and takes a bite.
It's soft, chewy, and just the right kind of sweet, pairing perfectly with the kung pao chicken.
Xingya, who only meant to test the food for her mistress, keeps eating, one bite after another, completely unable to stop. Before long, the carriage pulls up in front of a large estate.
Above the gate hangs a bright, prominent plaque with the character Su.
This is the Su family, the most prominent household in Kahwa town.
And the one riding in the carriage is none other than the Su family's eldest daughter,
Miss Su Jinha. We're here, we're home, oh no. What's wrong? Why so flustered?
This is terrible, terrible.
I accidentally ate the entire dish. This is bad. Miss, should I go back and buy another one? Xingya stamps her foot, distressed.
Only someone who's tasted it could know just how good that dish was.
But she'd been so caught up eating it herself, she completely forgot to save any for her mistress. What a terrible thing to have done. No need, it's just one dish. Getting the chance to try it was lucky enough. Missing out is fine too. Besides, didn't you say you'd never go back there again? Su Jinha asks, a little puzzled. Her maid isn't usually one to indulge like this. What's gotten into her today? But it really was that good. How good could a single dish possibly be? It's just a dish, after all. Let's go back to the estate. I grew up in a wealthy household. There's no delicacy I haven't tried, so naturally, I wouldn't think much of it. A moment ago was just a passing whim. But since the owner kept needling us, I'm not made of stone either. She can't help feeling a bit annoyed. She hadn't planned on eating the dish anyway, and now that it's gone, she cares even less. But miss, that dish really, truly was delicious. Xingya wants to explain further. I ate it, so I'd know best. Only I would really know. The flavor was so rich. It's got me wanting more. That's enough, back to the estate. With that settled, Lin Hao eagerly starts cleaning up. He fetches water, grabs a rag, and scrubs every corner with everything he's got. Each spot gets wiped down at least 4 times. Not even the floor is spared. He practically wants it polished to a mirror shine. The sign out front gets scrubbed until it gleams, visible and sharp even from far away. Of course, all that effort comes with a cost. By nightfall, the first floor is barely finished. The second floor hasn't been touched at all. All right, that's enough scrubbing. Lu Ming checks the time. It's already 8 at night. He quickly pulls Lin Hao away from his scrubbing. No, owner, I took young Master Wang's money. I have to finish what I promised. Lin Hao doesn't stop working as he talks. First, he's been paid, so he has to deliver. Second, the owner's been so good to him. Not only did he get to eat white rice, he even got to taste the finest food he's ever had. Surely even the gods don't eat better than this. He's just a poor kid. All he's got is his strength, nothing else to offer in return, so the least he can do is work hard. He's already decided, and not just for today. From now on, every so often, he'll come by to help the owner clean, otherwise he wouldn't feel worthy of the owner's kindness. I never said you couldn't. But we need to close up for tonight. You can come back tomorrow. And since we don't open in the mornings anyway, you could head up the hill to gather herbs first, then come back in the afternoon to keep cleaning. Lu Ming does the math in his head. He made a big score today. All he wants now is to lie down and rest. "10 taels of silver." Going by the ancient silver to gold ratio of 10 to 1. That's the same as earning 1 tael of gold. And gold is worth far more than silver. He just checked. Gold's currently going for over 900,000 a kilo. 1 tael of gold comes out to over 45,000. Earning 40 grand in a day feels unbelievably good. This is how rich people apologize. So plain and unpretentious, it's hard to even stay annoyed at them. He's got it all figured out now too. Coins can't be sold as antiques. That's fine, it doesn't matter if the copper and silver aren't worth much. As long as the gold's worth something, that's all that matters. From now on, he'll save up all his earnings and eventually trade them for gold to sell off. On his end, the silver to gold ratio runs about 90 to 1. Even if the gold here isn't very pure, as long as it's real gold, there's absolutely no way he'll lose out. Of course, after earning this much today, he's definitely allowed to slack off a little. Might as well close up early. No customers are coming by tonight anyway. Owner, do you really like herbs that much? Of course, didn't I already tell you? You bring herbs to me, and I'll pay you and feed you, both. Really, is the owner serious about this? The meal he'd had earlier, honestly, calling it food fit for the gods wouldn't be an exaggeration, and it came with real white rice too. Is this really something he could eat every single day? As for the herbs, that's not something he's worried about at all. Their mountains back home don't have much. But herbs, they've got plenty. It's just that they never sold for a good price before, so he'd only bring some down to sell now and then. But if there's a meal included now, he's going to have to think about whether to get the whole village gathering herbs together. He may be simple, but he's no fool. Otherwise he wouldn't be out here selling herbs in town at all. There are plenty of people his age back in the village with nothing to do. They can't do much else but picking herbs that they can definitely handle. Herbs never used to sell for much, so I always picked and sold them myself. But if the owner really wants some, I don't mind acting as the go-between. I'll take a smaller cut, as long as I've got food to eat. As for me, I still plan on staying here to help the owner out and earning a bit of running around money. That's white rice paired with a real feast. Where else could a job like that pay you in a meal like this? It's true, I promise. Just bring them by. I'll take whatever you've got. Ming thinks of his childhood friend. I've got a friend whose family runs a Chinese medicine shop. Over the years I've heard him complain again and again that the herbs these days keep getting more and more fake. Farmed herbs just don't have the right potency, and a lot of the old prescriptions don't even work anymore. You think about it, treating illness with medicine. If the medicine doesn't match the sickness, how's the patient supposed to get better? As for my friend, he doesn't even dare let patients gather their own herbs anymore. He mixes every dose himself before handing it over. Otherwise there's no way to guarantee it'll actually work. But good herbs keep getting harder to source these days too. They have to go straight to the source themselves, and even then, there's no guarantee they'll find any. Supply runs dry all the time, so they're forced to use farmed herbs instead. And just up the dosage to compensate. But it's never quite as good as the wild kind. With a steady buyer like this lined up, I won't have to worry about selling my stock at all. Great, owner. I'll head back now and come by again tomorrow. Lin Hao's so thrilled he's almost stumbling as he walks. Like he's had one too many drinks. It's getting late. Why not eat dinner before you head out? Ming looks a little concerned. No, I couldn't. I can't keep taking more from you, owner. I'll get going. See you tomorrow. Lin Hao spins around and bolts off, thrilled, and vanishes in the blink of an eye. Tonight, he's definitely too excited to sleep. But not everyone shares that kind of excitement. Some people are lying awake tonight for a very different reason. At the Typhoon house, back in the capital, in one elegantly furnished private room, a few sharp-eyed men are pouring drinks for each other, trading laughs and easy conversation. Come on, young Master Wang, it's been 3 or 4 months since you left the capital, so the brothers set up this whole welcome-back feast. We're making sure you eat and drink well tonight. That's right, young Master Wang, out on the road like that. Your meals must have been rough. Now that you're back, it's time to make up for it properly. Exactly. Look at this roast duck, roast squab. These were always your favorites, young Master Wang. Give it a try, see if it still tastes the same. Sitting right in the center of the room is Wang Chang, drinking and laughing along with the others. Every dish on the table used to be one of his favorites. Tonight, he plans to properly enjoy them. After a few cups of wine, Wang Chang reaches his chopsticks toward the roast chicken in front of him, gives it a light tug, and tears off a drumstick. The same familiar motion as always. Wang Chang pops the drumstick into his mouth, satisfied. But the moment he takes a bite, something feels off. How is this not as good as it used to taste? What's wrong, young master? Why aren't you eating? Is something off with the flavor? Did the Typhoon house get a new cook? Wang Chang asks, puzzled. This roast chicken used to be his favorite. But now, one bite in, he has no urge to keep eating. It tastes almost bland, none of the punch it used to have. No, we didn't, it's always tasted like this. It's still good. That can't be right, it feels like it's worse than before. Wang Chang takes another bite. It really doesn't hit the way it used to. How did anyone ever call this food delicious? Young Master Wang. Maybe your taste has changed. Could be, after a few months without it. You're just not used to it yet. It's fine. Try some of the other dishes. This whole table is stuff you used to love. None of the men beside him think much of it. For people like them, who leave for months at a time, and travel long distances, tastes changing is nothing unusual. Maybe. Wang Chang nods and takes a few more bites of the other dishes, but in the end, he sets his chopsticks down, defeated. How did he never notice this before? The food at the Typhoon house is fishy and tough, and worst of all, completely bland. It's honestly hard to even swallow. But that plate of kung pao chicken had a dozen flavors dancing on his tongue at once. Compared to that, the dishes in front of him now taste like they've been rinsed in water before being served. No flavor at all. Might as well be plain trail rations. Does he, the young master of the Wei Yuan escort agency, really used to eat this kind of slop? Young Master Wang, what's wrong? No appetite? Are you feeling unwell? Should we call for a doctor? One of the guards asks, concerned. Wang Chang is the future pillar of the Wei Yuan escort agency. Nothing can be allowed to happen to him. Just think about it. Our Wei Yuan escort agency does business across all 27 provinces. Even the imperial court sometimes relies on us to move goods. For an operation this size, having someone who can carry that weight matters more than anything. Wang Chang may not have much talent for scholarship, but his skill in martial arts is top tier among his peers. Give him a few more years of experience, and the agency's business can be handed off to him. At a moment like this, his health matters more than anything else. No need. It's just that, on the way back to the capital, I had a dish that was incredibly good, and compared to that dish, all of this tastes like pig slop. I really can't swallow it. Look at this chicken. It's tough, but the chicken I had was tender and juicy, coated in a glossy sauce, gleaming and clear. It was just incredible. And then there's the flavor. Don't even get me started, this stuff's just bland. Nothing like that dish. One bite of it, and dozens of flavors exploded in my mouth at once. But every layer still stood out on its own. Just thinking about it makes my mouth water. Wang Chang thinks back to that meal last night, and his mouth starts watering on its own. Can it really be that amazing? That sounds a bit far-fetched. If what you're saying is true, that'd have to be food fit for the gods. Naturally, none of his men believe him. We're all guards who've worked escort routes, crisscrossing the country for years now. We've all seen our share of famous restaurants everywhere. But honestly, after all that traveling, nothing beats the 8 great restaurants right here in the capital. Other places aren't bad, exactly. But at best, they only match the 8 great houses. There's no way anyone's cooking could make the 8 great houses taste worthless in comparison. Even the chefs at the palace kitchen probably wouldn't dare boast like that. That's a big claim, as the saying goes, master your skills and sell them to the emperor's household. The chefs in the imperial kitchen represent the peak of cooking in this whole dynasty. Only the ones the palace lets go, or who retire, ever end up getting hired by other restaurants. The 8 great houses in the capital, each one has a few old masters who came from the palace kitchen, anchoring the place. Naturally, nothing else can compete with that. Of course, there are exceptions here and there. Every region has its own local specialty. Having 1 or 2 standout dishes is possible. But something that leaves young Master Wang unable to eat or sleep, that's a bit much. At least I don't buy it. Man, it really was food fit for the gods. In my whole life, I've never tasted flavors layered that deep. Wang Chang isn't even sure how to describe it anymore. That kind of deliciousness is beyond his words. So where exactly did you eat this, young Master Wang? One of the sharper guards asks. There aren't that many famous restaurants around. We've all been to pretty much all of them. Just tell us, and we'll know soon enough. It's not far, actually. It's in Kahwa town, less than a day's ride from the capital. There's a place there. How do I put it? It's a restaurant that looks like it's been standing for years, and that kung pao chicken dish they make there is just incredible. I was passing through last night and ate 11 plates straight. Too bad the owner never opened up again, even by noon today. And I had to head back on an empty stomach. Just thinking about it gets Wang Chang worked up all over again. That can't be right. I've passed through Kahwa town a few times myself. There's no restaurant there at all. Yeah, I travel through Kahwa town all the time too. The earliest restaurant that ever opened there shut down 7 or 8 years ago. The whole place is dead quiet now. I even heard it's haunted. Opens at night. Closed during the day. Young Master Wang, you don't think you ran into a ghost, do you? Maybe we should go to the temple and pray, ward off some evil spirits. Bah, I've got strong yang energy. And a righteous heart. Even ghosts would steer clear of me. There's no way I'd run into one. And besides, even if I really had, it'd have to be some spirit that feeds on life force, not some ghost selling food.
As tough as his words sound, Wang Chang can't help feeling a chill run through him. Could he really have stumbled into some haunted shop?
Maybe we should go pray at the temple sometime. That's got to be it. He ran into a ghost. I don't buy it. There's no way any dish could get young Master Wang this hung up on it. A dish being tasty, sure, that's possible. But tasty enough that you can't stomach anything else. That's definitely not normal. Ghost has to be a ghost. One of the guards says firmly. Exactly, losing your appetite like that. Unable to eat, what good thing could cause that? Young Master Wang, you must have run into something unclean. Another guard says, just as sure of it. Come on, that's a stretch. That dish really was something I'd never seen or heard of before, and the owner didn't look like a bad person at all. Plus the white rice there was incredibly fragrant, better than anywhere else. Wang Chang finds himself defending Lu Ming, a little dazed. How good can rice possibly get? You've clearly lost your mind to something. Young Master Wang, my second grandaunt knows how to ward off evil spirits. I'll invite her over tomorrow to take a look at you, one of the guards offers, eager to help. No, I'm telling you, I didn't run into a ghost. That shop is completely real. The food is real too, and it really was delicious. Wang Chang sticks to his story. Young Master Wang, it's not that we don't trust you, it's just that what you're describing sounds too far-fetched. Opening only at night. Food 100 times more delicious. Closed during the day. What kind of restaurant works like that, if you ask me? We should really go find a priest to clear out any evil spirits. The others nod along, unconvinced. I've got a short temper, you know. Why won't any of you believe me? That food really was heavenly. Forget it, forget it. None of you have tried it, there's no point explaining. Wang Chang starts to lose his patience too. Young Master Wang, don't blame the brothers. None of us has actually tasted it. How are we supposed to believe you? Tell you what, that place isn't far from the capital anyway. Since you're craving it so badly, let's just ride out there fast. It's only a few hours away. Why not just tomorrow, young Master Wang, take a few of us who are free, and go see for ourselves. No need to argue over whether it's real or not. One taste and we'll know. One of the older guards steps in to smooth things over. Uncle Lu, sure enough, decades on the road, have made him good at handling situations like this. Then it's settled. But that place doesn't have lodging. And we don't know when it even opens. So let's head out a bit later tomorrow. And come back early. Wang Chang perks right up. Honestly, I want a taste right now. Of some real, proper Kung Pao chicken. The distance is nothing to worry about at all. After all, what's life about, if not chasing a good meal? After seeing Lin Hao off from the restaurant, Lu Ming can't wait to flop onto his bed. He grabs his phone and texts his childhood friend, "Are you there?" If you've got something to say, say it. Don't try to trick me into eating your pre-made food again. I'm not falling for it. Fine, don't eat it then, plenty of people will. I just wanted to ask, do you buy wild herbs? Of course we do, why wouldn't we? What kind of herbs? Hard to say, I'm not a doctor. Come see for yourself tomorrow. Oh, and come in the afternoon. Don't worry, I can't get up in the morning either. The next afternoon. At the restaurant, Lu Ming has just woken up, yawning as he opens the door. Lin Hao is already waiting outside, still carrying a big pack on his back, with 2 baskets sitting on the ground beside him. Besides the wild astragalus root from yesterday, there are other herbs he doesn't recognize. In total, 3 baskets, packed full. Oh nar. I gathered these from everyone in the village early this morning. Take a look, see what quality they are. He waits, a little nervous. He'd gotten home so late last night. There was no time to let anyone in the village know. But that didn't matter. Country families usually keep some herbs on hand anyway. So early this morning, he went door to door, spreading word about gathering herbs. And picked up a whole round of them along the way. 3 full baskets in all. Should be worth something. Not bad, not bad. I'll give you 1 mace of silver for this. Lu Ming has no real sense of money's value. He only has 15 copper coins on him, along with 1 mace of silver and 10 taels. 15 coins definitely isn't enough. 10 taels is way too much. 1 mace of silver is just right. 1 mace is only worth about 50 or 60 yuan anyway. For this much wild herbs like these, that's definitely not a bad deal. A lot of this is dried too.
Worth more than yesterday's fresh stuff once the moisture is gone from drying.
The weight and quality are just different. This is way too much.
Lin Hao stammers.
One mace is 100 coins.
When he used to sell these at the pharmacy,
getting 50 or 60 coins was already a good day. And even then, the shop owner would nitpick everything. It's not much, just take the mace of silver.
Lu Ming casually tosses over one of the maces of silver he'd gotten a few days earlier to Lin Hao.
A notification pings on his phone. Looks like I'm already there. Lu Ming can't be bothered to reply.
Picks up the baskets of herbs and heads for the kitchen.
Lin Hao offers to help, but gets stopped right away. No need, the kitchen's off limits. Outsiders can't go in.
Lu Ming knows exactly why.
When they were cleaning yesterday, he'd already let Lin Hao see the old, ancient-style kitchen.
But there's absolutely no way he can let him into the modern kitchen.
So it's just easier to keep him out of the kitchen entirely. Saves the trouble. Okay then, owner, I'll get to work. Lin Hao listens without pushing back.
Every restaurant has its own rules.
Trades back then all guarded their secrets closely, whether it's a cook in the kitchen,
a carpenter at his craft, or a master of medicine. Everyone guards their techniques closely.
There's a lot outsiders simply aren't allowed to see. Especially when it comes to cooking. Sometimes just a few glances is enough to learn a technique.
So Lu Ming keeping people out of the kitchen
makes perfect sense.
And won't raise any suspicion.
Go on, go on. Lu Ming waves him off.
Carrying the baskets, he crosses through the kitchen
and comes back out into the modern delivery shop.
The shutter door rattles up, revealing a sharp, tidy figure standing outside,
tall and lean.
Black framed glasses perched on his nose.
Fine, refined features, every bit the scholarly type. This is Lu Ming's childhood friend, Li Tonggren, whose family runs a Chinese medicine shop. Whoa, look at all this good stuff. So much good stuff. Where did you even get all this?
My family's ancestors were somehow connected to Li Shizhen, the guy who wrote the Great Herbal Compendium way back.
So I guess you could call us a family of traditional medicine. As for whether that's actually true, no one really bothers to check. These days, if you don't have some kind of pedigree behind you,
no one would trust a Chinese medicine doctor at all.
Weren't you gaming with me just last night? How are you up so early? Come on, let me see what you've got. Before Lu Ming can even get the glass door fully open,
Li Tonggren squeezes through the gap and dives headfirst into the baskets of herbs.
There's 5-year astragalus here,
and even 10-year. This is definitely the real wild stuff.
And this one's great too.
Sells for over 100 yuan a kilo out there. And this rare herb from the snowy mountains.
The real deal, no doubt. And dendrobium too. Nearly 100% wild.
Stuff like this goes for tens of thousands a kilo on the market.
Where did you even find all this? Li Tonggren's eyes light up more with every item. There isn't much of any single item here. But the rarity more than makes up for it. These days, finding anything truly wild means heading deep into mountains no one ever visits. Otherwise it's all farmed.
There's simply no getting pure wild herbs anywhere else. As the saying goes, real medicine takes real time to grow. Farming herbs drains the soil badly.
Farmland just can't keep up with the demand. That's exactly why so many old prescriptions seem useless now. It's not that the recipes are wrong. It's that the ingredients aren't right anymore.
When the herbs themselves are fake.
Of course the treatment won't work.
A relative in the countryside sent these to me.
Asked me to help find a buyer. So, are you buying?
Lu Ming is a little surprised himself. He'd figured Lin Hao
would be lucky to bring in a few ordinary herbs.
Never expected him to score herbs worth tens of thousands.
This kid's got real talent. Of course I'm buying. Why wouldn't I?
My family happens to be short on exactly these herbs.
But honestly, besides me,
no one else would dare buy these.
From now on, if you find more wild ones, no matter what kind, just hold on to them, don't tell anyone. Some of these can't legally circulate on the open market, but my family's got connections.
We can handle it, don't worry.
As for this whole pile, I'll weigh it when I get back and send you the money later over WeChat.
Don't worry.
The dendrobium alone is worth tens of thousands. This whole pile's got to be worth 70 or 80,000 at least. Gotta run, catch you later. Li Tonggren dashes off in a flash, gone in seconds,
leaving Lu Ming calling out helplessly behind him.
Leave the baskets.
But he's already too far away to hear.
Ah, forget it. They're just a few bamboo baskets. If he wants them, he can have them. Lu Ming shakes his head and pulls the shutter door back down. He heads straight from the kitchen back through to the other side. No joke, in one single day he's made over 100,000. It's obvious which side has more potential here. Back at the ancient restaurant, Lin Hao is still down on the floor, scrubbing away. But the more Lu Ming watches, the more awkward he feels. Those herbs he'd just handed over were worth at least 10 taels, but he'd only paid 1 mace for them. Earning money like that feels a little dishonest. Sure, if Lin Hao tried selling them himself, he'd never get anywhere near that price. But Lu Ming still can't quite shake the guilt. Plenty of space, solid, dependable safety, smart features that actually work, and service you can count on. Can you even stretch your legs out in the back seat? The back seat, what? Lu Ming opens his mouth. Not sure what to say for a moment. Owner, is something wrong? Lin Hao looks up, a little confused. Nothing. I'm just going to buy those baskets off you too. Here, these 15 copper coins are yours. Lu Ming doesn't have much cash left. This is all the loose change he's got. So he just hands over every last coin. No, I can't take this. A few empty baskets. They're not worth anything at all. My family's got plenty more. Take them if you want, no charge. Really, they're worthless. Owner, you've already been more than good to me. Paying top price for my herbs, and letting me eat white rice. A person shouldn't be greedy. I'm already more grateful than I can say. Lin Hao keeps his head down, his eyes just a little damp. He used to make less than 1 mace of silver in a whole month. But ever since meeting Lu Ming, he's earned 2 maces in just 2 days. He's never going to forget this kindness. You came in early this morning, you haven't eaten, have you? Seeing how firmly Lin Hao refuses the money, Lu Ming doesn't push it. Getting a price that high honestly has little to do with Lin Hao himself. It comes down to Lu Ming's own connections and this whole time travel thing he's got going on. Forcing money on him now might not even do him any good. Lu Ming still understands the saying about kindness turning to resentment when overdone. Since he can't just hand over cash, he'll just have to look out for him in other ways. No, I'm not hungry. No, he's clearly starving. Lin Hao's throat works as he swallows. He'd gone up the mountain to gather herbs early this morning, then rushed straight over here at noon. There was no time to eat at all. How could he possibly not be hungry? It's just that Lu Ming hadn't offered, so he didn't feel right asking. After all, as far as he remembers, that meal here is expensive. Just yesterday, some young lady spent 10 taels of silver on a single meal here. Thinking back on the meal he had yesterday, that was worth a full 10 taels. If he skips a meal now, could he trade that for 10 taels instead? But that's just wishful thinking. Yesterday was clearly a special case. Even he can tell that much. But that food, that rice, it really was amazing. If you're hungry, just say so. We don't have much else here, but we've got plenty of food. Wait here, I'll go get you something. I'll throw in a couple extra dishes today, Lu Ming says, already heading for the kitchen. He opens the fridge, but doesn't grab anything right away. If he's adding dishes, he wants to pick something good. Kung Pao chicken is naturally still the biggest stock. The second best seller is fish fragrant pork. But that dish is a bit spicy. He'd looked into it before. Chili peppers don't even exist in this dynasty yet. Eating it straight, people here probably couldn't handle it. Might even end up with an upset stomach. As for leaving out the chili, sorry. It's pre-made food. The flavor's already locked in. Less salt, no chili, no garlic. No cilantro, no scallions. Sorry. The exit's to your left. This is just how the food tastes here. Take it or leave it. So fish fragrant pork gets set aside for now. The kid's still growing. He picks and picks some more. And finally settles on 2 dishes he's happy with. Sweet and sour pork and twice cooked pork. Both signature delivery dishes that sell well. And also the ones he's got the most stock of. He tears open the packaging and pulls out 3 plates. The same familiar routine. Cutting open the packs, plating everything, heating for 3.5 minutes. With 3 sharp beeps, the microwaves all chime at once. 3 pre-made dishes, fresh out of the microwave. Carrying the tray. Lu Ming steps out, steady as ever. In the main hall, Lin Hao is still working. But his hands slow down without him noticing. Just like an office worker near the end of lunch break, waiting on a delivery order. His mind completely on the food. How could he focus on work? Luckily, Lu Ming's food comes out just as fast as always. 3.5 minutes later, a rich aroma drifts out from the kitchen. One is the familiar smell of Kung Pao chicken. The other two, Lin Hao has no idea what they are. He can just tell one of them has a bit of a tangy smell, but there's no doubt about it. It's got to be delicious. Soon enough, Lin Hao gets a good look at all three dishes. No need to say more about the Kung Pao chicken. The sweet and sour pork glows red and glossy. Sweet and tempting. Coated in a glistening layer of sweet and sour sauce, sparkling under the light. Every piece gleaming, impossible to resist. He doesn't even need to lean in. The sweet and tangy smell pushes straight into his nose, making his mouth water on the spot. Then there's the twice-cooked pork, made with pork belly, lean and fatty in equal measure, sliced thin, stir-fried over high heat, until the fat renders out. Each slice curling slightly, the lean edges turning a golden brown, as if announcing just how good it tastes. Every slice of meat glistens, soaked through in its own rendered fat. A thin sheen of grease clings to each piece, catching the light in a tempting shine. Just looking at it is enough to work up an appetite. Especially in an era like this, where people can barely get enough rice, meat is a rare treasure. A dish this glossy with oil, like twice-cooked pork, is the kind of thing you might only glimpse once a year, at New Year's. Just a glimpse. And nothing more than that. As for actually eating it, that's not even worth dreaming about. With a plate like this sitting right in front of him, how could a country kid possibly resist a temptation like that? Testing ordinary people with something like this. What ordinary person could ever pass a test like that? Owner, Lin Hao says, practically shaking with excitement. Not even sure where to put his hands. Just that plate of Kung Pao chicken yesterday kept him thinking about it all through the night, and today the owner's gone and given him 3 whole dishes. He's so moved. He practically wants to kowtow to the heavens 300 times. The heavens must finally be smiling on him, after being poor for so long, to run into someone as kind as the owner. Go on, eat up. Eat quick, it won't taste as good once it's cold. Lu Ming always finds himself urging guests to eat while the food's hot. Once it cools, it goes right back to that frozen texture. That off feeling just creeps back in. Otherwise there's always that faint fridge smell lingering. Besides, it's really just $15 bags of frozen pre-made food. No need to get this worked up over it. So good, so incredibly good. With a feast in front of him, Lin Hao doesn't care about anything else. He grabs his chopsticks and starts eating in huge bites. This one's fragrant, and that one too. Lin Hao feels pure joy inside. The sweet and sour pork, for a kid his age, is the most tempting thing on the table. Things like sugar and vinegar, expensive seasonings like that. When would he ever get the chance to taste them? First time trying it, and it completely blows his mind. It's delicious, truly, incredibly delicious. And the twice-cooked pork is even better. Rich with fat, paired with a bite of white rice. It's basically a life fit for the gods. Just as Lin Hao is lost in the flavor. The sound of hoofbeats echoes from outside. And it sounds like more than one horse, getting closer and closer, heading this way. Soon enough, the riders come into view. Lu Ming looks out the door and takes a closer look. Oh, isn't that Wang Chang, who just left yesterday? How is he already back so soon? See, told you. I said it wasn't a haunted shop, didn't I? Seeing the shop still open in broad daylight, Wang Chang finally feels himself relax. Good, good. It wasn't a hallucination after all. The place is really here. The men riding behind him look a little stunned too. They'd assumed their young master had lost his mind on the road, but now it seems that's not quite the case. But does this shop really have that kind of food fit for the gods young master Wang described? That seems pretty hard to believe. The men dismount, still doubtful, looking the place over from every angle. However you look at it, it's a rundown little shop. Nothing about it says delicious food. That smells amazing, so good. But it's different from the smell last time. Wang Chang leads the way inside, naturally the first to catch the smell of the food. Ignoring the startled looks from everyone else, he charges straight into the main hall and comes right up to Lin Hao. right as he spots the 3 half-eaten plates on the table. What is this? Wang Chang points at the 3 dishes in front of him, his hand actually shaking a little. Last time I came, I never saw food this good. I only got the Kung Pao chicken. Just thinking about missing out on these other 2 dishes makes him tremble with frustration. He's ready to march over and have it out with the owner. Oh, those 2. One's sweet and sour pork, and the other's twice-cooked pork. Lu Ming glances over and rattles off the names without much thought. Wang Chang's a decent customer, sure, but he pays in cash, which, to Lu Ming, doesn't bring in as much direct profit as what Lin Hao brings him, so he's just a regular customer, nothing more. What I'm saying is, if your place has dishes this good, why didn't you serve them to me last time? Do you look down on me? Think I can't afford it? Oh, I get it. It must have been because it was so late. The kitchen hadn't prepped the ingredients. Wang Chang, even as he's getting worked up, still tries to give Lu Ming an easy way out. No, I did mention it to you back then. You're the one who said you didn't want it. Lu Ming doesn't take the bait. I did mention it, sure. But I'm not taking the blame for this. Mentioned it, did you? Wang Chang looks a little embarrassed. Seems like that actually did happen. Back then I figured a countryside shop like this, having one standout dish was already impressive. I didn't even consider the other options. Who knew the other dishes would be this good too? I could go back in time right now and slap myself a few times. Whatever the owner recommends, just order it. It's not like I'm short on cash. Why was I putting on airs like that? In the end, who ended up losing out? Me. You were sitting right there. And I introduced you to Lu Ming. Lin Hao nods along, earnest and sincere, trying to reenact the whole scene from before. Stop right there. What other dishes do you have? Owner, just list them all out. I'll take everything. Wang Chang quickly cuts off Lin Hao's little performance. That's it, we only made these 3 dishes today. Good things need to come out slowly. Can't just dump it all out at once, or it just loses all the fun. Lu Ming's got his own little scheme running. Besides, he's also got inventory to clear. He knows exactly how Wang Chang operates. The guy's a natural at clearing out stock, so the dishes need to come out little by little. If he eats too much of one thing and finds one dish suits his taste perfectly, what happens to the rest if he stops ordering them? Thinking about the tens of thousands of dollars of frozen pre-made food sitting in his fridge. Better to take it slow. Whatever he can offload, the better. Then let's go with these 3 dishes. Give me 10 servings of each. Wang Chang waves a hand grandly. And sure enough, starts his own personal inventory clearance. Wait, Lu Ming doesn't turn to head for the kitchen right away. Anything else? Wang Chang looks a little impatient. He's eager to eat. The prices went up. About time. How much? Wang Chang doesn't find that odd at all. Food this good. If he were the owner, he'd raise prices too. He just hopes it hasn't gone up too much. Even if it has, I'll grit my teeth and pay it anyway. Worst case, I just eat a little less often. 50 for each dish. Lu Ming thinks it over and multiplies the price by 5. Yeah, this price should turn a decent profit. And it's still not so much that ordinary people can't afford it. After all, his stock can't rely on just a handful of rich customers to clear it out. 50 taels for one dish. Owner, that's outrageous. Okay, just give us 2 plates of each for now. Wang Chang winces and pats his money pouch. 300 taels of silver. Some escort runs don't even earn him that much. Young Master Wang, have you lost your mind? That's 50 taels a dish. Even a dish made by the head chef of the Imperial Kitchen might not even be worth 50 taels. This is straight up a scam shop. Let's just go. The men behind him had been standing there with real interest, off to the side. But the moment they hear 50 taels a dish, they can't just stand there anymore. Is this a meal or are we eating silver? It's not that a big operation like our escort agency can't afford a price like this. The question is whether it's worth it. The food smells good, sure, but plenty of dishes smell good. How many of them are actually worth 50 taels? Even the Typhoon House's signature dishes only cost that much because the ingredients are rare. That's the only reason the price gets that high. But what's actually in these 3 dishes? Pork, chicken, and some vegetable nobody can even name. However you look at it, none of that counts as expensive. A dish like that, selling for 50 taels. We're being generous just by not smashing this scam shop to pieces. No, 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 the food here is genuinely amazing. Just try it, you'll see. This one's on me. I'm paying, Wang Chang says, since he's already tasted it himself. I've had every signature dish at the Thai Fong House. And honestly, they're only impressive because the ingredients cost more compared to the food here. It's night and day. If I'm spending 50 taels either way, I'd rather spend it here. It's just a shame. At this price, I can't eat as freely as I did the other day. Back when it was cheap. Why didn't I think to eat more? Right now, Wang Chang regrets it so much he wants to smack himself. There was once a plate of Kung Pao chicken in front of him for just $10. Right there for the taking, and he didn't appreciate it enough. Only once the price went up did the regret really hit. Nothing in this world hurts quite like that. If the heavens gave him one more chance, he'd tell the owner 3 simple words, one more round. And if he had to put a number on how much, he'd want 10,000 plates. Young Master Wang, this isn't about who's paying. It's that this food is worth way more than 50 taels. A few pieces of chicken, a few slices of pork, and they dare charge 50 taels for it. In all my years on the road, I've never seen a shop this shameless. Uncle Lu has spent years navigating this world. There's no scene he hasn't witnessed. I've even had a dish that cost 500 taels. But that was because Song Biao wandered into a scam shop by mistake, and had a knife to his throat when he paid for it. That's a humiliation he's carried his whole life. And that's exactly why he's especially sensitive to scam shops. At prices like this, what else could this be but a scam? Exactly. Not smashing a scam shop like this already shows restraint. Are you eating or not? If not, please leave. Lu Ming had actually meant to say 50 coins, not 50 taels. But hearing them talk about smashing up his shop, he suddenly doesn't feel like explaining anything, trying to make an honest living off them, and they still give him attitude, like he owes them something. The restaurant business barely makes money anyway. If it weren't for all that backed up frozen pre-made food, he'd have switched trades a long time ago. Wouldn't running a medicine shop be so much better? Buy up herbs on this side, sell some banlangen on the other side, some ibuprofen, some antibiotics too. Working both worlds at once, easy money. Might even earn himself a reputation as a miracle doctor back in ancient times. Eat, just eat. Am I the young master here, or are you? Everyone, sit down. Whatever you've got to say it after we eat. Owner, just bring out what I ordered. Wang Chang is genuinely afraid he won't get to eat, and pulls out his full young master authority. I've already seen how stubborn this owner can be. A restaurant not opening in the morning, fine, but not opening at noon either. Is that something a normal person would even do? But I have to admit, he's clearly earned the right to be difficult. Because that food is just too good. If it weren't for that food, I wouldn't have ridden a couple 100 miles just for one bite of it. Besides, they'll all still be working under young Master Wang going forward. So no matter how reluctant the other guards feel, they end up sitting down anyway. Seeing this, Lu Ming doesn't say much more and heads straight for the kitchen. Wang Chang takes his men and settles at an empty table. The escort agency's been busy lately. Not many guards were free. This time, besides the veteran Uncle Lu, he only brought 2 others along. One surnamed Chen, the other surnamed Deng. Both longtime members of the agency too. So even if they're unhappy deep down, once young Master Wang has spoken, they're not about to argue with him to his face. While all this talking's been going on, Lin Hao has already scarfed down every last bite of his food, having thoroughly enjoyed his meal. He finally gets a chance to come over and greet Wang Chang. When it comes down to it, Wang Chang's been good luck for him too. If not for Wang Chang, he'd never have met an owner as great as Lu Ming. Hey, aren't you that kid from yesterday? A place this expensive, and you can actually afford it? Wang Chang looks a little surprised. No, the owner's treating me. I help him gather herbs, and he feeds me in return. What herbs are so hard to gather that they're worth a dish that costs 50 taels? Wang Chang looks stunned too. Maybe I should switch trades too, if it's just ordinary herbs. And the owner's just being kind, giving me a meal out of pity. Him, kind? 50 taels a dish. His heart must be dyed pitch black from soaking in an inkwell. The young guard thinks, still too green to hold his tongue. Actually, it's not even that expensive. Yesterday, some young lady spent 10 whole taels on just one dish. The owner's actually pretty easygoing. If you're a little more polite with him later, he might even give you a discount. Lin Hao says quietly. Uncle Lu nearly spits out his drink. Listen to yourself, does that even sound like something a person would say? What do you mean, only 10 taels? 10 taels is enough for a whole meal at the Typhoon House. Does no one in this town treat money like money anymore? While the men are still talking, back in the kitchen, the microwave chef has already finished 6 plates, which come out carrying an irresistible aroma, catching the guards a little off guard. Skill aside for a moment, sure, the food's expensive, but there's nothing fake about how fast it comes out. The Typhoon House can't even compete on that front. Over there, service is painfully slow. You usually have to order ahead of time. Otherwise you'll wait forever. 2 plates of kung pao chicken, 2 plates of twice-cooked pork, 2 plates of sweet and sour pork, and a whole pot of rice on the house, that's everything. Lu Ming sets the dishes down on the table, expression flat. Wang Chang, who's already been holding back, grabs a pair of chopsticks from the holder and starts eating in big bites right away. 1 bite and I'm nearly in tears. That's the flavor. The one I've been thinking about all day. That feeling of flavors dancing across his tongue is finally back. But the others aren't nearly as impressed. The food smells good, sure, but not that good, especially Uncle Lu, who watched Wang Chang grow up from a boy, so of course he's not going to fight him for his favorite dish, especially not one that costs 50 taels a plate. In all my years traveling the world, what food haven't I tried? And besides, at my age, your taste buds just aren't what they used to be. Everything tastes about the same these days, so he just pulls out his own flask of liquor and takes a slow sip. Chen, on the other hand, looks down on this shop outright and follows Uncle Lu's lead, pulling out his own flask too. Deng, though, is much more easygoing. No fighting over food, no fuss about it either. If there's food, he just eats. So he ends up being the second one, right after Wang Chang, to actually pick up his chopsticks. No harm in trying. A free meal's worth a taste, right? Wang Chang looks just as stunned. Before eating, he hadn't thought much of it. But the moment the rice hits his mouth, a rich meaty aroma laced with a hint of sweetness fills his mouth completely, all from plain white rice. Good lord, is this really just white rice? It feels nothing like anything I've had before. The texture, the flavor. His eyes go wide. Just this rice alone. He feels like he could finish a whole pot of it by itself. And if the rice tastes this good, then the dishes. With a spark of anticipation, Deng reaches out carefully, sneaking his chopsticks toward the twice-cooked pork. The instant a piece hits his mouth, the smell of the rendered fat mixes with several flavors he can't even name, and sends him straight to cloud 9. Right then, he finally understands what Wang Chang's been feeling. For a dish like this, forget 50 taels. He'd happily pay 100 taels for it. But the plate that had just barely hit the table is already half gone in the blink of an eye. He looks up and finds Wang Chang has already gone full beast mode, chopsticks flying across the table. In the blink of an eye, another eighth of the food on the table disappears. That's it, no more holding back for him now. With one swift move, he goes straight for the plate in front of him, completely unrestrained now. And just like that, everyone's grabbing and fighting over food. In barely 2 minutes, all 6 dishes on the table vanish right in front of Chen and Uncle Lu, who can only stare, jaws hanging open. Young Master Wang, we agreed. This meal's on you. So this plate here is ours to split. The two of them, still not satisfied even after finishing the food, stare at the glossy, oil-slicked plate, and both lunge for it at the same time. Nonsense, you said you were just coming along to keep me company. And besides, I'm the one paying for all this, so I should get 4 plates. And you two should split the rest. There's no way I'm giving up this plate. That sauce alone looks perfect for mixing into rice. If that's how it's going to be, then don't blame me for being quick about it. Everyone for themselves. Deng lets out a strange little laugh and snatches the plate first. Then don't blame me for playing rough. Wang Chang isn't about to back down either and kicks Deng's stool right out from under him, stealing the advantage in the chaos, and somehow manages to walk away with 4 plates, barely unscathed. Chen, still young, can't hold himself back either and points at the two of them, too stunned to say a word. Owner, bring me a plate too. I'll take the sweet and sour pork. Uncle Lu, ever the practical one. finds himself genuinely curious about the flavor now.
But every plate in sight has already been licked clean.
There's nothing left for him to even try.
So there's no choice but to order a fresh plate.
And just as before, 3.5 minutes later,
A glossy plate of sweet and sour pork arrives at the table.
seeing the hungry looks from Wang Chang and Deng, Uncle Lu just holds the plate in his own hands, not daring to set it down on the table at all.
Sure enough, he barely manages to get a single bite in.
What he doesn't realize yet
Is that he'll soon be grateful for that decision?
the moment that one bite goes down, he's completely won over by the sweet and sour pork. The way sweet and tangy weave together.
Even someone like him, who's traveled the country,
His whole life has never tasted anything like it. In a single dish,
two flavors blend together in perfect harmony.
the tang of the vinegar cuts the sweetness of the sugar,
While the sugar softens the vinegar's sharp edge.
Together, they're a perfect match. In an instant, he's completely won over by how good it is. In just a few quick bites,
One plate of sweet and sour pork
doesn't survive even a full minute in his hands. Staring at the leftover sauce pooled at the bottom of the plate,
he steals his resolve
and orders another bowl of rice. What's dignity worth anyway?
At his age, he's long past caring about looking foolish. And with the rice, he goes straight into full clean plate mode.
In the blink of an eye, there's another empty plate on the table.
This is noticeably cleaner than the other two, who'd licked theirs bare. After licking his plate clean,
Uncle Lu glances back at it, still not quite satisfied.
looking like he might go in for another round. But he's already licked it 3 times.
And there's genuinely nothing left to taste. Otherwise, he wouldn't be willing to put it down at all. It's honestly a shame, isn't it? Uncle Lu, how did you end up like this too? Chen is completely lost now.
The two men who'd been on his side just moments ago have suddenly switched sides on him.
Little Chen, I'm starting to think. Young Master Wang really is the future of this agency. His eye for talent is something else. Uncle Lu doesn't bother explaining himself, and instead just starts praising Wang Chang.
Exactly. Young Master Wang's got a real eye for this stuff.
Finding a heavenly kitchen like this. From now on,
Our Wei Yuan escort agency is guaranteed to stay on top. Deng chimes in, agreeing.
You flatter me. I just happen to be standing on the shoulders of giants.
When it comes down to it, it's the owner's skill that matters.
Shame we can't eat like this every day, though.
Wang Chang waves a modest hand. But his face carries a look of genuine sorrow.
Food this good. Going even a single day without it feels unbearable.
Owner, bring me a plate of twice-cooked pork too.
Chen finally can't hold back any longer. He doesn't even care about the cost anymore. Right now, all he wants to know
Is just how good the food at this place really is.
And just like before, 3.5 minutes later, a plate of fragrant twice-cooked pork arrives. But he's not nearly as practiced as Uncle Lu was, and just sets the plate right down on the table.
He reaches his chopsticks out carefully and picks up a piece of twice-cooked pork,
Glossy with oil. Genuinely tempting. The moment the meat hits his mouth, a rich aroma blooms instantly across his tongue. The twice-cooked pork, lean and fatty together, tastes crisp and savory, tender, juicy, and rich, with a deep, satisfying flavor. Every bite brings a wave of pure satisfaction. He can't help but get lost in it. This kind of flavor is so unique, it completely rewrites what he thought food could be. Is this really something ordinary people like them are even allowed to taste? No, this can't even be called eating anymore. It can only be called indulgence.
By the time he's slowly savored his way through one piece and opens his eyes again, he finds the plate of twice-cooked pork he just ordered
Is already completely gone. Nothing left but a bare, empty plate. Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. These starving ghosts reincarnated didn't even leave him a drop of sauce. Who touched my twice-cooked pork? Chen shouts, thoroughly annoyed. The 3 men at the table just stare off into the distance,
pretending nothing at all had happened. But the sweat on their foreheads makes it obvious.
A fierce battle had clearly just taken place. All right, owner, put it all on my tab. In the end, Wang Chang can't just sit there anymore,
and calls the owner over to settle up.
After all, he's the future head of this whole crew.
And a leader's got to show he cares to win people over.
8 plates in total. The rice is on the house, so that's 400 coins altogether. Lu Ming doesn't even need an abacus.
The number just rolls right off his tongue.
400 coins? Wasn't it 50 taels a dish? Wang Chang looks utterly stunned. This isn't what they'd agreed on at all. 50 taels? No, 50 coins. You think I'm running some scam shop here? A few dark lines of irritation cross Lu Ming's forehead. However dishonest he might be, he's not about to jack up the price 50,000 times over. And besides, this is mass-produced, factory-line pre-made food. Whatever conscience he's got left, it hasn't run out completely just yet. Wait, didn't you say 50 taels earlier? Whoa, I thought the price had gone up by a ridiculous amount. And it's only 50 coins a dish. Add 10 more of every dish. Wang Chang was still talking when he realized the shopkeeper had only ever said 50. He never said silver. That slip was all his own. Young Master Wang, that's not fair. Yeah, you're the one who got us all confused. Boss, this is no rip-off den. It's basically charity. Exactly. At this price, with food like this, the boss must be a real saint. The guards all turned on Wang Chang. Their attitude did a full 180. 50 coins a dish wasn't exactly cheap, but after the wild swing of 50 taels, 50 coins felt like nothing. The truth is, the food's actually good. Worth every coin. Fine, it's all on me. I'll make it right. Here's 50 taels of silver, call it today's meal. Keep the change. And if it's short, I'll cover the rest. Wang Chang had always been generous. His escort agency ran 11 jobs a year and pulled in 1,000 taels or so. 50 coins a dish? He could easily afford that. Why would he care about pocket change like this? Sure thing, food's coming right up. Lu Ming was thrilled. Money really could make the world go round. With 50 taels dropped in his lap, there was no way he'd slight a customer like that. Money. It was all money, after all. Once everyone had eaten and drunk their fill, as evening fell, Wang Chang and his men headed back the way they'd come. For a while after that, Lu Ming's restaurant settled into quiet calm. Wang Chang would drop by now and then with his men for a meal. But aside from that, the place stayed mostly empty. Every so often, a passing merchant caravan would stop by, and the moment they heard 50 coins a dish, they'd yank their foot back off the doorstep and turn right around. Not a moment's hesitation. Lucky for him, these days, he barely cared about scattered walk-ins like that anymore. With that young lady and Wang Chang backing him, he'd made over 200,000 in just a few days. He'd already hit a full year's earnings target for the shop, early. Honestly, what more could he want? He'd even thought, if the freezer still had stock left 2 years from now, he'd just sell the whole lot to Wang Chang. Have him pay 1,000 or so, maybe 100 taels of gold. Then he could spend the rest of his life in bed scrolling his phone. Of course, that was just a thought. He'd figure it out when the time actually came. Aside from selling food, the herb business had hit a bit of a wall. Wild herbs needed time to grow, after all. After that first big haul brought in over 100,000, the amount coming in kept shrinking. No surprise. All the easy spots had already been picked clean. What was left was either hard to reach, or a long trek away. It usually took several days just to fill a single basket to sell. That actually suited him fine. If wild herbs showed up in bulk every single day, that would look suspicious. He'd have a hard time explaining where it all came from. He himself wasn't too bothered by it, but Lin Hao had taken it to heart. These past few days, Lin Hao had asked for time off, apparently to visit relatives in some nearby villages. Probably looking to recruit more hands to gather herbs. As for that, Lu Ming didn't stop him. His childhood-friendly Tongren's family wasn't running just some small clinic. They owned hundreds of pharmacy branches, spread across the whole country. The demand for wild herbs was massive. They'd take as much as he could bring. If Lin Hao brought in more people, he'd earn money himself, and Lu Ming would come out even further ahead. He was cashing in as the middleman harder than ever. Why would he stand in the way of a win-win-win like that? Actually, no, it wasn't just 3 wins. The kids gathering herbs earned money. The patients who got real medicine got properly treated. Call it 5 wins? 6, 7, maybe 8. Take your pick. He was no god of medicine. But this still counted as a good deed. While Lu Ming's days rolled by easy and unhurried, Someone else wasn't having such a smooth time of it.
In the Su residence, a vase shattered. The sound ringing out from Miss Su Jinha's room.
Shards scattered across the floor. Even this young lady, usually gentle as a painting, couldn't help frowning. This wasn't the first time, after all. Counting up this month alone, this was already the third vase to go. These past few days, her maid Qingya, for some reason,
had been acting like she'd lost her mind somewhere.
She couldn't even comb hair right, got the bath water temperature wrong, and even just carrying tea either overfilled the cup or spilled it. Nothing she did came out right.
The moment Qingya snapped back to herself, she dropped to her knees with a thud.
Sure, she was the young lady's personal maid.
They'd grown up together since childhood, but master and servant were still worlds apart.
A broken vase was just a broken vase, nothing more than an object. But a maid like her
was, in a way, just as much her mistress's property.
No different from a vase, really. Which meant
her fate depended entirely on her mistress's mood.
Get up. Qingya, let me ask you something. Is there someone you have feelings for? Su Jinha was never too harsh with Qingya. Qingya had been born into the household.
3 generations of her family had served the Su household. Her whole family lived right there on the estate. They'd grown up together, after all, and that bond meant something.
Su Jinha never went too hard on her. But she really was curious about what had gotten into this maid. A family problem? That was ruled out.
Qingya's whole family lived right there in the Su household,
and they were doing just fine.
If something were wrong, she'd have heard about it.
Since it wasn't a family matter, it had to be that Qingya had someone on her mind. And honestly, that would make sense.
15, 16 years old, that's exactly the age for a first crush. It'd be normal to fall for some promising young man.
Su Jin had just worried Qingya might get taken advantage of.
Losing both her money and her heart would be a real mess.
No, it's nothing like that. How could it be? I'm your dowry maid. You haven't even married yet. Actually, even after you do, it still wouldn't happen.
Qingya shook her head over and over, her face burning red.
It's all right. You may be my personal maid, but we're as close as sisters. If you've really taken a liking to some good young man, I'll happily let you go be with him, and let you build a good life with him.
Of course, only after I meet him first, and see what kind of man he really is.
Su Jinha meant every word. No, really, there's no one. My lady, please stop guessing. I truly don't have anyone in mind. The more Qingya protested, the redder her face got. Still saying there's no one? Your face is as red as ripe fruit. Already. Let me guess, is it Uncle Lu's youngest son? Not likely.
If it were him, you two would have gotten together ages ago.
Not the Zhang boy either. With that face, you'd never look twice at him, so it has to be someone outside the estate. But we've barely left the house lately. Don't tell me you've fallen for that restaurant owner.
She worked through it step by step. The more she thought it over, the more likely it seemed.
The only time they'd gone out recently was to burn incense at the temple. That temple was a nunnery.
They hadn't seen a single man the whole trip except the driver. The only man they'd actually crossed paths with
was that restaurant owner. Thinking about his age, and honestly, his looks too.
Aside from his sharp tongue,
he really was the kind of face you wouldn't forget. It had to be him. No question. My lady, where are you even going with this?
There's no way I'd like that black-hearted man.
All the color drained right out of Qingya's face,
leaving her looking utterly conflicted.
Before she tried his food, she might have looked down on the man. But after tasting his cooking,
her opinion had completely changed.
Sure, his heart was black, but not all the way through. His food really was worth the price. It's really not.
Qingya shook her head firmly.
Then why have you been so out of it lately? Is there something you can't tell me? It's really nothing much. I just wanted to go out for a bit, to ask you for some time off. Qingya hesitated.
She'd been tossing and turning at night, and all she could think about, even in her dreams,
was going back for one more meal at that restaurant. She'd lost her appetite over it. Hadn't slept well in days. No sleep meant no energy,
which explained why she kept messing things up.
But honestly, that food really was that good. Once you had it, you just wanted more. Fine, go on then, go. I'll be fine here. Besides, there are other maids around. Go on, don't worry about it. Sujinha agreed without a second thought. Really? Xingya's face lit up with joy. She'd figured getting permission would be hard. Never expected her mistress to agree so easily. Now, finally, she'd get to eat the food she'd been dreaming about. Of course I mean it. Go on, go. Go right now. Sujinha nodded and cheerfully shooed Xingya out the door. Xingya dashed off, thrilled. Auntie Wu, follow her. Be careful, don't let her notice you. See where she goes. And who she meets. The moment Xingya was gone, the smile vanished from Sujinha's face. She wanted to see for herself exactly which man had stolen her maid's heart like this. If he genuinely cared for Xingya, fine, but if he was after her money, or worse, she wouldn't feel bad about breaking them apart. That's right. Even now, Sujinha was convinced Xingya was just lovesick. After all, who in their right mind would imagine someone pining over a single dish, to the point of losing their mind, outside the Su residence? Yes, finally. Xingya bounced the heavy coin purse in her hand and skipped happily all the way toward the restaurant. She never noticed the shadow trailing sneakily behind her. All she could think about was the meal waiting for her. Inside that purse was every coin she'd saved up over the years. This time, she was going to eat her fill. But once she reached the door, she suddenly hesitated. Last time, she'd sworn up and down that she'd never come back. Barely a few days later, and here she was again. Wasn't that just slapping her own face? She was a young woman, after all, and even she had some pride left. Watching from behind, Auntie Wu saw the whole thing, and felt even more sure her mistress's guess was right. Just as her mistress had predicted, right here at this doorway. That hesitant look on her face looked, to Auntie Wu, exactly like a girl's shyness before seeing the one she liked. Too embarrassed to even walk in. And there she goes, fixing her hair. Powdering her face too. Auntie Wu grew more certain by the second. This girl never bothered dressing up normally. Today she'd gone to all this trouble with makeup. If that wasn't for some man, who would believe it? Up ahead, Xingya had no idea just how much Auntie Wu was reading into it. If she'd known, she'd have shouted her innocence to the sky. All that powder on her face, all that messed up hair, was purely so the owner wouldn't recognize her. Otherwise, how awkward would that be? She smoothed her hair down, dusted another layer of powder on her face, pulled out a small mirror to check, and finally looked different enough from usual. Only then did Xingya tuck the mirror away, relieved, and step through the restaurant door. You look familiar, miss. Aren't you the maid from last time, the one who came with the lady in the carriage? The moment she stepped inside, that familiar voice, and thoroughly annoying, came from inside. How did you even recognize me? I barely recognize myself with this makeup on. And yet he'd seen through it at a glance. This shop owner was almost scary good at this. You didn't even change your clothes. Kind of hard not to recognize you. Anyway, forget that. Your mistress didn't actually eat that food last time, did she? Compared to how startled Xingya was, it was Lu Ming who was actually panicking inside. After all these days apart, this maid had suddenly shown up, looking like this. Had her mistress eaten his pre-made dishes and gotten sick from them, and now she was here for trouble? What was he supposed to do? Should he drag her to a modern hospital for a stomach pump? How did you know my mistress didn't eat it? Hearing Lu Ming's question, Xingya was even more startled. How would I know? I'm the one asking you. Oh good, that's a relief. As long as your mistress is fine. I did tell you my food wasn't exactly clean. Hearing the words, didn't eat it, Lu Ming let out a breath of relief. As long as her mistress was fine, that was all that mattered. If she never ate his food, whatever happened to her couldn't be pinned on him. You. How can you be so petty? Hearing him bring up unclean food again, Xingya's eyes welled up with angry tears. So I said one thing about it not being clean. Do you have to hold on to that forever? How am I the petty one here?
Lu Ming felt genuinely wronged.
He honestly thought he'd been more than generous about it. So what if I said your food wasn't clean last time? We apologized properly and paid you besides.
Why are you still holding it against me?
Won't let it go?
Xingya wiped at her tears as she spoke, her already messy makeup smearing further, until she looked like a painted cat.
But my food really isn't clean. Eat it and you might end up with a stomachache.
Lu Ming was at a loss for words.
Why did nobody believe him when he told the truth these days? You're still saying it.
She really had started crying now.
Okay, I won't say it anymore. As long as your mistress is fine, that's what matters. If she's fine, then why are you here? Once the girl started crying, Lu Ming couldn't shake the feeling that he looked like some creep bullying a young girl. I want to eat here. Xingya said quietly. No, you can't eat here. I won't sell to you. Lu Ming refused flat out. Last time nothing happened, thankfully, but if he sold to her again, and something went wrong this time, who'd take the blame? Xingya never expected Lu Ming to refuse so flatly. Didn't I already tell you? It's not clean.
Lu Ming rubbed his temples.
Why couldn't this girl take a hint?
Not clean, she sobbed.
There you go again, saying it's not clean. I ate every bite of it myself last time. Whether your food is clean or not. Don't you think I'd know by now? You're just being stingy, you just want to get back at me. Boss, I was wrong. Do I have to kneel and apologize for it to be enough? Ever since I had your food that one time, I haven't been able to eat or sleep, just wanting one more bite. Past few days I couldn't even work right, thinking about it. If it keeps up like this, my mistress is going to throw me out. I'm sorry, I really do know I was wrong. Please, have some mercy. And forgive me. Just let me eat one meal, just one. Otherwise I can't focus on anything. Xingya sobbed and started to drop to her knees. Hey, don't kneel, I can't take that. And besides, you can't put it like that. My place is a legitimate restaurant. Talk like that, and someone who doesn't know better might think I'm putting something illegal in the food. The more he listened, the more off it sounded. Sure, there was some serious tech behind his cooking. But that was as far as it went. Absolutely nothing illegal in there. What did she mean? She couldn't eat or sleep? Could a few pre-made dishes really have that much pull? Weren't those the kind of thing even a dog would turn its nose up at? He had no idea that this era simply didn't have this many seasonings to cook with. Even the finest restaurants in the capital, at best, used a bit of lard and some salt. Even cooking wine, scallions, ginger, and garlic to cut the smell. For most people, that was a secret technique out of reach. As for marinating meat to make it taste better, that was a trick people wouldn't discover for centuries. No need to even mention it, in an era where cooked basically meant edible. His shelf of seasonings was playing an entirely different game. It was like a dog that had never tasted table scraps. Feed it bland kibble, and it'll eat that just fine. But once it's had a taste of real food, the good stuff people eat, try to feed it kibble again, and it won't even look at it. Why doesn't it have any taste? If you won't sell it to me, I'm not getting up. Xingya, voice choked with tears, had thrown all her pride out the window. What did pride matter, anyway? Was pride more important than food? Fine, I'll sell it to you. But if you get sick, don't come blaming me. Oh, and the price has gone up. 50 coins a dish now. If it's too expensive, the door's right there. What kind of nerve is that? Not expensive at all. Boss, your cooking is the best there is. I'll take 3 plates, no. 7. Xingya scrambled to her feet, counting on her fingers. 7 plates? Can you even finish that? Lu Ming eyed Xingya's small frame, clearly doubtful. If I can't finish it, I'll take the rest to go. No takeout. Takeout costs 10 taels a plate. Just 3 plates. Take it or leave it. Lu Ming had his reasons for saying no. All his food was frozen to start with. Packed up to go, it would go cold on the way. And something about that fell off, like it had been refrozen. These dishes were already flash frozen once. Reheating them had already undone that. If they went cold, bacteria could grow, and even reheating them again, forget the taste, the odds of getting sick would climb fast. Fine, 3 plates it is. I'll eat it. Xingya didn't dare push her luck any further. Getting anything at all was already a win. Worst case, she'd just beg her mistress for more days off. The place wasn't far. She could easily run over any time. Fine, Lu Ming said as Lu Ming headed back into the kitchen. The same familiar 3-minute wait for kung pao chicken, sweet and sour pork, and twice-cooked pork, all 3 dishes fresh out in no time. Wow, finally. It smells amazing, thank you, boss. The moment the food hit the table, Xingya dug in without waiting. Watching her, Lu Ming just shook his head. The twice-cooked pork was way too oily, practically a calorie bomb. As for the kung pao chicken, the chicken had been deep-fried and he'd used ketchup, of all things. Not remotely authentic. Don't even get him started on the sweet and sour pork, the sauce way too thick. It killed the crispiness. And this passed for delicious? She clearly didn't know good food from bad. But man, it smelled incredible. The whole meal, Xingya spent a full hour on it. Before finally leaving, fully satisfied. Back at the Su residence. Word of all this had already reached Su Jinha, thanks to Auntie Wu's quick reporting. You saw this clearly? Su Jinha asked, turning the prayer beads in her hand, as she spoke. I saw every bit of it, clear as day. The moment Xingya left the gate, she went straight for that restaurant, clutching a coin purse stuffed full. Right before going in, she spent a good while fixing herself up. Oh my. Powder like it cost nothing. Fussed with her hair over and over. Once inside, she stayed more than an hour. When she finally came out, her hair was a mess. And that purse was clearly a lot lighter. But she was grinning ear to ear. If you ask me, it's just like you said. That girl's got someone on her mind, no doubt about it. Auntie Wu laid out every detail, exactly as she'd seen it. You're sure she wasn't just there to eat? Not a chance. Who eats alone for over an hour? And who spends that long dressing up just to eat? Besides, Xingya's never been a girl who cared much about food. She's always been the most restrained one. Never even took an extra bite. Auntie Wu shook her head again and again. All right, I understand. You may go. Oh, and look into that restaurant owner's background. Find out where he's really from, whether he's sincere or after her money. If he's after her money. A cold glint flashed through Su Jinha's eyes. Auntie Wu bowed and withdrew. No sooner had Auntie Wu left than Xingya walked back in. Xingya, how was your trip out? She seemed in a good mood. Su Jinha studied Xingya's face closely. There were clear signs she'd washed her face. With a bit of powder still clinging to her hair, the thick scent of makeup still clung to her, confirming everything Auntie Wu had said. The girl had definitely dressed up. Just washed it off again before coming back, but there was no hiding the smile on her face. Hee, don't worry, my lady. I won't mess up again. I'll work hard, I promise. Xingya never actually answered the question. She just gave a sheepish little laugh. So what did you do today? Just ate. At that same restaurant as before. Xingya rattled on and on. But Su Jinha wasn't buying a word of it. A meal that made her this happy? A meal that took that long? A meal that needed makeup? No one would believe that. Heavenly food, sure. The best meal on earth, all just excuses with that many guilty little tells. Xingya's explanation right now sounded exactly like a teenager covering for a secret crush. The more she explained, the guiltier she looked. Still, Su Jinha didn't call her out. Catch a thief with the goods, catch a cheat in the act. Once she had solid proof, she'd see how the girl talked her way out of it then. Over the next few days, Xingya kept asking for time off to go eat, every few days. Su Jinha let her go every time. What she needed was the right moment to act. And figuring out that moment meant she had to look into things properly first. The restaurant carried on business as usual. Lu Ming had gotten more and more casual about opening hours. It was always the same handful of regulars anyway. Whether he opened on time barely mattered. Aside from Qingya's visits every few days, the rest was just Wang Chang dropping in now and then, treating his fellow escorts to a meal. Honestly, Wang Chang came around more than anyone. Whenever he had free time, he showed up. His poor horse must have been worn out. One day, Wang Chang showed up again. But this time he wasn't alone. He'd brought his entire escort crew. "Boss, whatever tastes good. Bring it all out." Wang Chang bellowed the moment he walked in, acting like he'd just come home. Whoa, that's a lot of people. Heading out somewhere far? Lu Ming took one look. At the dozen-strong crew, an impressive sight. Pretty grand, honestly. A few carts sat in the middle of the group, loaded with over a dozen chests, heavy ones, clearly worth a fortune. Yeah, this trip's going to take months. I won't get to eat your cooking, boss, for a good long while. Wang Chang looked genuinely gloomy about it. But I know what actually matters. Eating's just eating, in the end. The escort agency comes first. When there's nothing going on, sure, I'll come eat and drink. But when there's work, I've got to run the job. Otherwise, an inheritance this big would be gone in a few generations. Business first. So where are you headed, anyway? Lu Ming nodded, asking almost in passing. This time we're hauling goods to Chuanzhou. It's not that far, distance-wise. It's just that the south's a bit chaotic these days. The road might not be too peaceful. Wang Chang shook his head, his expression darkening. Chaos in the south? Lu Ming didn't quite follow. He'd been stuck in Kahua town since arriving, never once venturing beyond it, completely in the dark about the world outside, judging by how quiet life was in Kahua town. Aside from everyone being a bit poor, nothing seemed off. He'd figured the rest of the world was the same. Yeah. The court's tried its best to let things recover these past years, but the south's all mountains and rivers. Can't grow enough grain there. If merchants and the court weren't hauling grain down from the north, there'd have been a famine long ago. But the North's had nothing but droughts and floods these past years. Not even enough grain for themselves, let alone enough to send south. Now the South's crawling with bandits carving out their own little kingdoms. It's a mess down there. Wang Chang sighed, sounding almost wistful. For us in the escort trade, chaos like this cuts both ways. The good side is, business booms. The bad side is, the danger goes way up. Either way, that road's no easy stretch. Well, take care of yourself out there. Lu Ming wasn't sure what else to say. He wasn't some savior of the world. He couldn't save everyone. Even back in the modern world, there were still people going hungry in plenty of countries. If the modern age hadn't produced someone people called a modern Shinong, that world might be in a similar mess. As for me, I'm not too worried. With my skills, if real trouble comes, even if I can't win, I can still run. I'm more worried about you, honestly. If things really do fall apart, or the trouble spreads near Jinchang, you'd be in real danger. Ever think about moving your business to the capital? With skills like yours, you'd easily make a name for yourself there. Wang Chang had been hoping to lure Lu Ming to the capital for a while. This seemed like the perfect chance to feel him out. No need. I'm not going anywhere. Lu Ming knew exactly why. As if his kitchen couldn't just pick up and move with him. What good would the capital do him? Would it even be any safer there than here? If real chaos ever hit, he'd just retreat straight back to the modern world. Lock the security door, and nobody could touch him. That's right. Not just any security door. It's bank vault grade, blast-proof. I had some free time, so I hired someone to install it in the kitchen myself. Short of an actual bomb, nothing's getting through it. Safe as it gets. The installers never quite understood why a kitchen needed a blast door. But a paying job was a paying job. Everyone's got their own quirks, and they chose to respect it. Even if not the quirks, they'd respect the money, at least. The door wasn't really meant to keep out refugees. Mostly just thieves. That way, even if someone broke in at night, they couldn't follow him back to the modern world. He could sleep a lot easier at night because of it. Figured you'd say something like that. Well, there's something else I should remind you about. The spring exam, the one held every 3 years, is coming up soon. A wave of scholars are already getting ready to head for the capital. You might want to start preparing too. Wang Chang shook his head with a wry smile. Looks like, he thought, having freedom to eat here whenever he wanted just wasn't in the cards. The spring exam? Isn't that not until next year? It's only March now. There's a whole year left. Besides, I'm not sitting for the exam. What is there for me to prepare? Lu Ming asked, confused. You run a restaurant, don't you? This town, Kahua Town, sits right on the road every scholar has to take to reach the capital. Every exam season, crowds of them pass right through here. These days, sure, most of them detour around it. But that's mostly because there used to be nowhere here to eat or sleep. Now that you've got a place open, you might start seeing some of them come through. Actually, no, you definitely will. Not to be rude. But those poor scholars, you really think they can afford my food? Lu Ming was skeptical. In every story he'd ever read, not one scholar had money. They were always mooching off some rich young lady, a courtesan, or the loyal wife they'd left behind, just to scrape together travel money for the capital. And even then, they'd pinch every coin. Could people like that afford 50 coins a dish? Seemed like a stretch. Now that's not fair. The ones heading to the spring exam are already provincial graduates. Plenty of wealthy merchants are happy to fund them along the way, though that money doesn't come free, of course. So most of them still prefer to cover it themselves. But most provincial graduates already have some income of their own. A meal's well within reach for them. Though, true, the spring exam is still a ways off. What I meant was, get ready for the autumn exam. Truth is, our agency's gotten word that disasters hit parts of the South. Refugees are stirring up trouble the authorities can't control. The autumn exam can't even be held in a lot of places. So the courts decided to have everyone take it here, in the capital, instead. That way, once they're done with the autumn exam, they can go right into preparing for the spring one. Saves everyone the back and forth trip, Wang Chang said, lowering his voice. And if someone doesn't pass? Then they just go home. These days, status is everything. The court's not going to worry about the rest. Wang Chang said it like it was obvious. Alright, but if that's the case, wouldn't the county scholars coming for the autumn exam be even poorer? Even less likely they can afford my food. So what exactly am I supposed to prepare for? Lu Ming rolled his eyes. There are wealthy backers. Besides the provincial graduates, promising county scholars get sponsored by merchants too. Call it an investment. And hey, you could invest in a few promising ones yourself. Once they make it big, they'll write something for your restaurant. Hang up a plaque, that sort of thing. Business would take off from there. Might even become a famous story 100 years from now. Wang Chang looked at him like he was hopeless. No need. I couldn't care less about that. Lu Ming waved a hand, looking every bit above such things. Relying on a bunch of broke scholars? Not exactly reliable. If he really wanted fame, he'd rather just write his own poems for the place, slap some famous line up on the wall, and enjoy it himself. Thank you very much. Better than anything those pretentious scholars could scribble up, guaranteed. Fine, no fame for you. Money, though. You care about that, right? Wang Chang let out a sigh. He really hadn't expected Lu Ming to be this stubborn. Why was it this hard just to do the guy a favor? Now that, I'm interested in. But didn't you just say they don't have money? Lu Ming nodded. Money, sure, I want that. That's exactly why it's easy money. Wang Chang said, as if it were obvious. That just left him more confused. What he was hearing right now didn't sound like it made any sense at all. Think about it. Those county scholars and graduates, every one of them spent a decade or more grinding through their books, living on plain food and weak tea their whole lives, bored out of their minds by their own cooking. After a hard road trip like this, and then they catch a whiff of your food. Who wouldn't want to treat themselves? Not enough money? Easy fix. They're always carrying brush, ink, and paper. Have them write you a piece of calligraphy or paint something to cover the bill. Simple as that. And if one of them ends up the top scorer someday, by then your restaurant's name would be known everywhere. Easy for you to say. And if they never even pass the exam? What good is a stack of worthless paper to me then? That's where you're wrong. A scholar's calligraphy already carries some value on the market. Besides, I'll vet them for you. I've spent enough years in the capital
To know which academies actually produce talent.
which students already have a reputation. I know all of it, inside and out. You just take what they offer. I'll do the appraising. Guaranteed you won't lose out. As the two of them were talking, a commotion suddenly broke out outside the door.
A group of men who looked like scholars had surrounded Xingya, tugging at her.
Her face flushed red.
She clutched her coin purse and tried to back away.
Miss, please, have mercy. A lot of us have been traveling hard and we're out of travel money. Haven't eaten in a whole day.
You look like a kind-hearted soul, miss.
Could you spare us a few coins? Just enough for a bun or two. I don't have any money. Get away from me. Xingya stamped her foot in a panic. She'd come here to eat, damn it.
The last thing she expected was getting cornered by a pack of broke scholars.
Lu Ming frowned,
Pushed the door open, and stepped outside.
Ganging up on one young lady doesn't seem right, does it? Our apologies, sir. We're truly at the end of our.
The lead scholar, thin and worn, let out a sigh.
He cupped his hands in a bow.
His face was sallow, his frame gaunt. His clothes, though washed and starched clean,
Had faded pale from wear. The cuffs frayed at the edges. Lu Ming looked them over. 5 of them in all young men. Their eyes still bright, though exhaustion and hardship weighed heavy on their brows. Come inside. Sir. We might not be able to pay much. Eat first. We'll worry about that later. Lu Ming turned and headed back inside. The scholars exchanged glances, hesitated for a moment, then followed him in. Xingya slipped in too, seizing the chance, ducking behind Lu Ming. In the main room, Wang Chang sat sipping tea, perfectly at ease. Seeing the group of scholars, he raised an eyebrow but said nothing. Lu Ming went into the kitchen, and before long, 5 bowls of steaming white rice, along with a big plate of kung pao chicken and a big plate of twice-cooked pork, were brought out. He'd given them noticeably more than usual. The aroma filled the room in an instant. The scholars' eyes went wide, throats bobbing as they swallowed, but they still fought to hold on to their manners. Sir, this is far too generous. Just eat. This one's on me. But there's a condition.
The scholars tensed up immediately.
Once you're done eating, each of you write me a piece of calligraphy or paint a small picture. Any subject you like. Just put some real effort into it. If it's good, then next time you come eat,
You can keep paying with your work, at least in part.
You mean it? The scholars looked shocked, then delighted.
Writing and painting are nothing hard for us.
If it can really cover a meal, that would be wonderful news. Of course I mean it. But if you just scribble something half-hearted, there won't be a next time. The scholars promised, again and again, all pretense of restraint forgotten.
After thanking him, they dug in without a moment's pause.
The way they tore through the food, it made even Wang Chang's first visit look tame. Watching from the side,
Wang Chang gave Lu Ming a thumbs up.
Well played, innkeeper Lu.
That's what they call playing the long game to land the big fish. Lu Ming neither agreed nor disagreed. He just felt these young men had it rough.
If he could give them a hand, why not?
And he might as well try out the approach Wang Chang had suggested. After the meal, the scholars kept their word. They borrowed brush and ink from Lu Ming. Maybe it was the satisfaction of a full meal, or maybe gratitude for Lu Ming's kindness. But they put everything they had into their work.
The scholar in blue painted a scroll of ink bamboo, upright and forceful,
with a noble, unyielding bearing.
Another one, quiet and reserved,
Wrote out the classic humble room essay, his brushstrokes bold and confident.
carrying real presence. The youngest of them painted a simple little landscape, yet it held a quiet depth to it.
Even Xingya found herself captivated.
Boss, she whispered to Lu Ming. These are really beautiful. Wang Chang leaned in for a look too, and nodded.
The one in blue, he murmured, his name's Zhou Wenyan.
Bit of a known talent down south. That bamboo painting alone would fetch at least 10 taels in the capital.
The one who wrote the humble room piece, his name's Li Pu.
Best handwriting of the bunch. Innkeeper Lu, that meal just paid off big. Lu Ming carefully put the pieces away. He didn't know a thing about art, but he could feel the sincerity in the work, and the money in it too. The scholars left, thanking him over and over, saying that if they ended up staying in the capital to study for the exam, they'd definitely be back often. watching their figures disappear down the road.
Lu Ming suddenly felt something.
He couldn't quite name. This restaurant, this strange bridge between two eras,
Didn't feel anymore like just a place to clear out old stock
and pick up some extra cash. Wang Chang and his escort crew set off soon after.
Before leaving, he pressed an address into Lu Ming's hand.
Where I stay in the capital. If anything comes up, or you ever want to open a place in the capital, come find me anytime.
The restaurant settled back into quiet.
Qingya still came by every few days, always leaving satisfied. The people Su Jinha had sent to investigate hadn't turned up anything suspicious. And since Qingya had come back noticeably better at her chores, Su Jinha let the matter rest, for now. Still, deep down,
Her curiosity about this restaurant, the one that had her maid so completely enchanted,
only kept growing. Lin Hao came back,
bringing even more herb gatherers from nearby villages,
and formally asking, on top of that, if he could stay on at the restaurant as a hand. No wages needed, just room and board. Lu Ming agreed. He cleared out a room in the back for him. With someone else watching the place, Lu Ming could finally relax a bit. Days rolled on by. Just as expected, scholars from the south kept trickling north, and somehow, word got around
about trading art for a meal at Lu Ming's place in Kahua Town. It drew in plenty of scholars short on cash,
but rich in talent.
The restaurant slowly filled with the sound of reading aloud and heated debate.
A bit noisy, sure, but it gave the old, worn-down building a kind of life it hadn't had before. Lu Ming still slept in every morning, no alarm needed, still heated up his pre-made meals in the microwave.
The stock in his freezer dwindled, slowly but surely, while his old delivery shop back in the modern world had become nothing but a formality.
But the number on his bank card kept climbing steadily.
Fed by both herbs and artwork from the past, he converted some of the gold he'd earned, moving it safely through his childhood-friendly Tongren's channels.
Back in the modern world, he quietly picked up a decent little property. It gave him a real sense of security. Every so often, deep in the quiet of night, he'd sit alone in the main hall of the restaurant,
looking over the art the scholars had left behind, listening to the steady, easy sound of Lin Hao snoring in the back room.
This restaurant, born out of crossing time itself, seemed to be turning into something more interesting by the day. The microwave still hummed away.
The freezer still packed full of pre-made dishes.
Maybe the Real story was only just getting started, and Lu Ming,
this shopkeeper who'd built a legend on nothing but modern tech and nerve,
his story,
in this world where past and present crossed,
was quietly turning to a brand new chapter.